out of here.
There we go. Now we're live for real. Technical difficulties aside, welcome to the show. It's Thursday. What wouldn't the? I mean, YouTube live shows just has to go with a bit of technical difficulties sometimes. We have a wonderful show planned. Starting a little bit later than usual. But let's just go around the table and say hi to everyone, because we have a big, massive panel and it's going to be awesome. Let's start with going to my right. John Carr, welcome to the show.
Hey everyone, I'm John Carr, creator of the Cloud Gaming Catalog, a website about various cloud gaming services where you can search the various catalogs and filter them to find games to play. I did Chronicles of Stadia before this, a website about Stadia, but well, with it going belly up, I moved on to something new. So it's the first time I'm on stream anywhere. So yeah, I'm curious, excited.
World's first, everyone.
Yeah,
Good to have you here.
Absolutely brilliant. Yeah, loving your work, my friend. Beforehand,
yeah, thanks.
Yeah, superb job. Good to have you on. And I'm shutting up because I'm not actually the host tonight, so I'm the lowly guest.
Rokk, don't lie. You and me on the same show they already know what to expect.
Where did that voice come from?
From the shadows.
Look at this Ray. What's he? Oh man.
Yeah, speaking of Ray from the comment there, welcome Ray. Love to have you.
He's just mad because he hasn't got my praise and he never will. But anyway,
he doesn't deserve it.
What's going on, guys? Good to be back on the Rokk Players. Been playing a lot of WWE 2K23. Loving that game. And then playing Sons of the Forest. I did the Resident Evil 4 demo on the PS5. That was pretty awesome.
Nice.
And playing a lot of golf and cursing with SPG.
That's right. That's right. That game's hard, isn't it, Ray? If you have
when you
any
do the
drift,
settings, when your settings are right, it's a good game.
Keep it on easy, folks. And if you have any drift on your controller, skip it. Get a new controller. The game will make you curse. It will.
Throw it hard against the wall so it breaks, and then. But yeah, speaking of golf, SPG, welcome to the show.
Hey, thank you.
What's up?
Thanks for having me. Oh, not much, man. As Ray just said, cussing at golf, watching my wife play some Harry Potter. That was really fun. Other than that, man, not a whole lot really going on. We got another big storm. I mean, eventually it's got to warm up here in North Dakota, right? You'd think.
Nah, probably not.
Probably not.
Welcome, Ninja. Been a while since I had you on last, but love to see you.
You know, it's only been 2 weeks, but yeah, it does feel like eternity.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah.
Time goes very slowly in Sweden, Ninja.
Yeah, but the time zone change also, right? Like it's way further now, just an hour, right? So,
you know, those guys have they're in the dark for the entire winter. So, like 1 year for us is 6 years in Sweden. It's a bizarre thing.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Pretty much.
No, but happy to be here. I'm excited. It's my first time going in the full show. I'm usually here an hour late, so finally, I'm looking forward to see what the first hour is about. I hope it's not anything weird.
It's largely pornographic, particularly when Vet's on.
It's always weird when I'm here.
Yeah, exactly.
I make it personal to make it weird.
Also, we are started with last week. Me and Martinez decided we were gonna do it. Start out with doing the fun discussion part and then do the news later instead. So you're still getting into the same part as usual.
And I'm out.
Love to have
I'm leaving.
Martinez, always love to have you here, my favorite co-host. I mean, my only co-host.
Up yours.
You're a guest, Rokk. You're a guest.
Oh man, he just put Rokk just completely.
I just
out.
got roasted, mate.
Rokk, he just threw you under a rock.
Rokk. Said it yourself.
Sorry, that was a bad joke.
Yeah. So what I've been up to, we have been doing a lot of videoing, some behind the scenes with Hezekiah. A lot of unboxings to come. Anyone who makes YouTube videos and records knows it obviously takes a lot of work just to to get it all right and stuff like that, and then add in a 6-year-old as the star of the show. It just takes a little bit more time to get stuff done. But gaming wise, I actually, which we're going to talk about later, started messing around a little bit with Boosteroid, and I jumped into some Elden Ring, and I jumped into some Hogwarts as well, just to kind of try it out, test it out, and we'll talk about that later. But yeah, that was fun to get back into Elden Ring. It's been a while. A bunch of other stuff kind of got in the way, but it's fun jumping back in there and getting myself killed.
Oh, don't be doing that.
Sounds kind of like Elden Ring.
It's a Souls-esque game, so
yeah. Goes with the territory. Rokk, how about you? Welcome as a guest, because you are a guest.
Friend. Thank you. Absolutely.
You're not a co-host anymore. You're a guest now.
No, it's good to be. I like being a guest. David Guest. Yeah. So no, it's what have I been up to? I finished Forspoken. There's Miss Phoenix. Do you know Miss Phoenix lives in the same town as me?
wow.
Yeah, absolutely. Yep. So finished Forspoken, and
Was it fulfilling?
I loved it, mate.
Awesome.
Do you know what? I mean, there's been so much negativity around that game. And it's such a shame because, like most of these games, and we've talked about this in the past, like Death Stranding, and there's so many games where people play the first hour and they go, it's not for me, it's rubbish. And actually, with a lot of these, if you go right to the end and enjoy the entire game, this actually's got a really good story to it. It's got some issues, and the main issue for me is the fact that it was overpriced at launch. It should never have been a $70, $80 AAA price game, because it ain't that. It's a good 2.5 A's maybe, but it should have gone at launch. It should have been what it is right now on PlayStation, which is about $48, I think. They've dropped the price down, so should have been that from the outset. But it's a great game. I love it. I'm actually missing not playing it, because it's a bit like, do you remember Infamous Second Sons, when you are literally like a superhero, and you can just run anywhere and jump off and land and use magic, and it's like that. You just literally feel like you're invincible, particularly when, like me, you put it on the easy setting and then nothing lasts more than 3 seconds. Including the game, it's 28 hours, I think, to finish it from top to tail. But I loved it. I'd highly recommend it.
Yeah, it's not too bad, actually. 28 hours.
Yeah.
And that's on very, very easy mode. I mean, literally dunces mode. If you put it on normal, probably get a good 30 to 40 hours out of it, I would say.
Nice.
Yeah, no, I mean, Forspoken is one of those. It's like every time I see footage of it, it's like it looks cool, and then you read up at it, and like, people hate on it. It's like I feel there's some sort of disconnect here.
Yeah, I mean, I understand what they were saying. The dialogue. The issues for me, I think, come from the fact that it's actually a Japanese-developed game using a kind of westernized story, and English and American actors, and actually, I think that was probably a little bit of a disconnect between cultures in putting that together. Which is a shame, but it is what it is. And overall, it's a great story, but the cutscenes have got sort of 1 or 2 second black fades between them, and there are lots of them. You're playing for 2 seconds, and there's another cutscene, and it gets a bit wearing over time. So there's a few things, which is why I say I don't think it's worth the 70 or 80 that they put it out initially at.
They did put a patch to kind of make it a little bit more, the gameplay a lot better, so I'm very happy because I'm going to play it with the new patch.
Did you? Because you bought it, didn't you, right?
No, I played the demo, and I have to be quite honest with you. The demo kind of made my decision. Like, do I really want to spend $60 on this game? I said, no, I can wait.
It wasn't worth that,
I can
right?
wait or get it on CD keys for a lot less.
I would still say hang out for another 10 off of where it is right now. I think if you can get it for 30, 35, it's well worth it then.
Yeah.
And also, I agree. I thought the demo... I came to the end of the demo and thought, I don't know, this is for me. Actually playing the game felt completely different. I mean, you've got to, like all these, you've got to kind of play it for a few hours and get into it and fully understand the mechanics. But, you absorb the powers of 4 different kind of super gods. and each of them has unique. Some of them, one has like fire, one has water, and they've all got these different spells, and just yeah, you've just
But
got to
I
play.
think what the issue is though is that you got games like Elden Ring. It sets the bar on,
Yeah.
and you got, you know, God of War.
Yeah,
Everybody's comparing. It's got to be on
Mhm.
this
that
level of the
quality.
game. If it's
Yeah.
not this quality, then it's a failed
That's
game.
that's a really good point, Ray. And
Yeah.
just to hijack the show a little bit longer, I was watching a video earlier, and there is a parallel. This guy was saying why streaming services are dying, and actually the parallel is on par with what you just said, which is in essence, when there was one or two streaming services and they filled with content, and the kind of quality ratio wasn't stupidly high, they could put out 20 episodes of a show, and there would be something great following on from it. So you wouldn't necessarily cancel it. But with something like Disney or Apple now, or even Amazon Prime, you'll get to they can't afford to keep up the budget for what is essentially trying to mimic the movies with MCU and Star Wars. So instead of 20 episodes for The Mandalorian, it's 8. And then you get to the end of your 8, which you could probably binge in a weekend if you didn't wait, if you waited till it had finished. You then think, well, there's nothing else on here, so you cancel the service. And so these guys are having massive churn because they can't, they're their own worst enemies. They've created such amazing quality, short-lived shows that people finish it and then that's the end of it. And exactly what you've just said about games, Ray. They're making this unbelievable Unreal 4, 5 quality graphics, and you go and play God of War or any number of the really amazing, and then you play something like Forspoken, which isn't quite as pretty, but actually has its advantage, and you go, nah, it's not as good as that. Why would I want to pay 70 for that when God of War cost me the same? And that's the problem with a lot of where these guys are. They've got to it still took them 5, 6, 7 years to make the game, so they still have to recoup all of those costs, but they don't look quite as pretty as some of the very latest next gen things. So everyone goes, nah, I'm not paying that for it, and then it never goes anywhere. So it's an interesting point.
Yeah, and I think that's when you think about that, like subscription services, like you mentioned, like Disney or Netflix, any of these different ones. I think a lot of them kind of moved to the weekly releases, trying to keep that churn a little bit down. And I think games, similarly, they kind of did something with the live service or the semi-live service. They're kind of expanding the DLCs into like seasons, and you have battle passes. Obviously, they're trying to keep people in that game, trying to keep that longevity of it, because like you said, you play something like Forspoken, even if it takes you 30 hours, you play it, you enjoyed it, and then you're like, okay, what do you got next for me?
Yeah.
I'm
yeah. Well, they were saying that what's happening in the streaming world, and I wonder whether we're going to see something like this, maybe not quite the same way, but it's introduced a thing called FAST, F-A-S-T, which is free ad-supported streaming television, FAST. So you've seen, is it Freevee on Prime and Pluto? In the UK, we have services like More on 4, ITVX, where essentially, they're giving you a load of content, but it's got ads at either end of it. So they're actually generating revenue that way. And I think that's why we're going to see more high quality games with microtransactional elements, because over and above the cost, recouping the cost through the sale of the thing itself, that's such a risky business that they've got to find other ways of getting their money in, potentially microtransactions.
And I think one of the reasons I'm so excited about what Embark Studios is making, and I was talking about before, is like one of their goals is to make, the process of making these high-end games a lot faster, cheaper, and easier to use, especially for small teams. So they can make a game that looks like the finals, that looks like as good, if not better, than like the Battlefield titles, but on a team that's like 1/5 the size. Thanks to clever use of machine learning and AI and things like that. So hopefully things development costs will go down in use it thanks to better tools in the coming
Yeah.
years.
Did we get to vet, by the way? Or was
We didn't.
Oh,
I was.
No,
He's an
we
actual
actually
you
got
didn't.
on-
Picture. That is literally a vet picture. I laughed
know,
at
that's-
that earlier. I had to turn
No-
my camera off a minute. I did.
Nobody asked
why
for
I
me,
put it
so
on
I
there.
just. Nobody said
Yeah, we
anything.
got
Vet,
so
what have you
stuck
been
on
up to?
Forspoken, and I was like,
So
so,
I just left my
welcome
mic
back.
muted
You're also
and I
here.
went.
Love that you're here.
I quit. I'm out. This is ridiculous. I can't believe I just got shunned.
oh, I'm sorry, brother.
I've never. This is ridiculous. I don't even want to talk now. I'm just gonna look at my dog and try to see what's wrong with her.
That's it, yeah.
That's
It's-
right.
You know, when you look at the picture and listen to you, it's like the dog explaining that to the doctor. I'm just,
Wow.
But yeah,
You know what?
welcome
This
back.
is- This is why I left YouTube to go to Twitch. God, I'm gonna go play Xbox. Oh wait, no, I won't. That's garbage.
Yeah.
Tell us what's up, Rufus.
You know what? I will get back in my box. It's safe there. Nobody bothers me. I don't get picked on.
It's got a nice lid.
Yeah.
I feel safe in my little box. What was the question now? I totally forgot after my rant.
What's up?
what
What's
you
been
up to,
happening in your?
brother? What you been
Yeah.
up to?
I broke my. I broke my arm. I mean, that's why I've seen the doctor. Otherwise, I've been stuck on PlayStation 5 playing Odyssey. I have access to tons of games, but the only thing that I seem to play is Odyssey. And I don't
Yeah,
know why I've started
the only-
over again, because I started Odyssey on Stadia.
I
I
do.
put like 100. I put 100 hours into it. Then I put 100+ hours in on GFN, and now I'm starting all over again, doing the exact same thing. And I haven't accomplished anything.
Well,
I'm
it's one of
actually-
those games, Vet, where it allows you to murder all the NPCs and everybody.
You know what? I realized. So I'm like I'm almost a level 30, and I realized I haven't done anything in the story, and I'm like, how am I so high? And then I was like, oh, this is why. Because I just go town to
you
town and
killed
I
the
slaughter.
entire world.
I'm like a Viking. I just slaughter the innocent and take their money, or I help them, then I kill them and take their money.
Yeah, that's
I mean,
the
it's a
best part.
win-win.
You get double the money.
It's an
Well,
important
no, because if I help them, I get the experience points, and then I can kill them, and then I get XP for that, and I get my money back. So
Hang
it's a
on, you
win-win.
sure you've been playing Odyssey if you've got Vikings in it?
I
That's
modded
definitely a
the game.
different Ubisoft game.
I merged. Hey, look, I merged the two. I
Oh, fair
merged
enough.
them. Well,
I mean,
you know,
there is the
it's a
is there
DLC. It's
yeah.
an unreleased deal. No, it was an unreleased one.
Yes, she
Ubisoft
was in
didn't
the
want to leak that
DLC.
out.
Yes, she was. You're right.
Yeah,
or,
see?
or
Yeah,
he,
there's
depending
a-
on which.
Yeah, there's a pack.
No,
for
I went
the-
with-
like,
I went back
where
with
you
Cas-
can do crossover.
I went
Yeah.
back with Cassandra on the PS5. Otherwise,
Yeah,
I was
Cassandra's
that's the
so
one.
I
good.
was doing wrestling.
Yeah.
I haven't done much PC gaming since I decided to break my arm because I thought it would be fun. So, you know, I had all the knee problems, and I figured, well, you know, enough with the knees. Let's do a different bone and see what happens. So I figured it would
Yeah.
be
Yep.
smart. Slip on
Sounds
ice.
like a plan
and-
to me.
Yeah.
It worked out well. My son will take me. We were at his doctor's appointment. He grabs my arm, takes my hand, and is walking me with a cane. And he said, I'm looking at him, and there's people staring at me. And I'm like, dude, I'm not old. And then he looks up. He's like, it's okay. You're old.
Yes, it's good.
You're
It's fine
he
to be
said-
old.
He said, Dad, you're old. You're 40. That's like ancient. And I'm
It
like,
is,
and there's
it is.
another dad there. He's like,
Well, Vet, by the
understand.
time you're 80, you're gonna have this conversation one more time.
as your son's wiping your butt,
Yeah,
because that's kind of how it's going to go down, mate.
full circle.
Who's laughing now? That's what you say to your son.
You remember that time you wouldn't play Mario, Dad?
you remember when you called me a terrible YouTuber and said I was awful?
Exactly.
Who's laughing now, boy? Who's
Yeah.
laughing now?
This old fella. Oh dear.
Stay your blade from the flesh of the innocent.
Yeah,
I know Dorgon can't stay. He won't watch my content if it's Odyssey. Dude, I
Yeah,
can't
too-
play any
too-
other.
too much out there.
I can't get into Valhalla. I have tried so many times. It bores me. And one would think that would be right up my alley because the whole point
Yeah,
of that
I
game is
mean,
to raiding,
Odyssey
killing
is
people.
the better game of them.
It
I
is.
mean,
It's
so-
the best
Yeah,
one.
Valhalla be boring. What?
Because
boring,
there's too
it's
much.
just-
What it-
There's
It's
too.
amazing.
There's too much.
Have you pressed
talk.
the link that says start game? Have you been beyond the menu?
The
I
first
got-
Like
time they
Valhalla
made it,
is better.
I got-
it's
I-
really good, but
How
Odyssey's
long
better.
does it? Well, no, I got 10 minutes into the game. and then I was bored.
Ray, what was I saying earlier about these people that only play the first few minutes of a game?
Then he realized
How
that
can
he
you be
played
bored
that
in 10
Discovery
minutes?
DLC.
That's the best
Rokk, he
opening
got
of
to
an
the
assassin's
Oh wait,
Exactly.
wait! I was.
Duncan.
Oh, was I in the?
Oh,
I was in the Discovery game. Oh, no wonder it was boring.
Yeah, he was learning about stuff. That's the worst thing.
Hey, no, I like history. I have stated that many a time that I like history.
When you get to
Just-
40, that's all that you got left, mate.
Yeah, I know. I realized that. Once I hit 40, I was like,
History's all
Coors
you got,
Light in
bro.
the History
I-
Channel.
I've realized I listen to history and politics. I'm like, oh God, I've become my father. It's all downhill from here.
Yeah. But yeah, let's get into the meat of the discussion. I mean, we've managed to fill 20 minutes so far, anyway. But I mean, the big thing happening this week, over the past few weeks, seems to be that Microsoft seems to be signing deals with about everyone.
Well, yeah, they're passing it out like candy. Like
Yeah.
the guy,
So I mean, first they signed with
Come here.
Nintendo.
Come here,
Then didn't they? I believe they did sign something with Valve, or at least offered Valve. And Valve was like, "Yeah, fine."
They've been offering everybody. I think
Yeah.
I heard
My
Texas
DMs are
Instruments
open
getting one.
Xbox.
I heard Texas
Yeah.
the TI-83
I think
getting Call of
what
Duty.
it was is they offered them like the 10-year deal, kind of similar, and they didn't agree to it. But I think they
Good
had
for
already
them.
had like kind of a partnership anyways. So
Yeah, it was
they
like
didn't
we don't
necessarily-
need to write a
How
deal
does
for this.
that
We
work?
you can
Hey,
Yeah,
Valve, you
so-
know all those PC games that you've got of ours? We'd like you to have them. What?
I think
think
yeah.
it was- I think the deal was
what
kind of
it
like-
was is Microsoft basically said, "Hey, can you do like a really cool like Photoshop and put like Microsoft with Valve and post it on Twitter?" And they're like, "Nah, like I think we're good."
Why,
You're
why
gonna,
didn't
like,
why didn't somebody at Microsoft just use Clippy and just use some clip art?
Clippy.
No, can't Office do that for them?
Yes.
Clippy.
Good old Clippy.
Yeah, but I mean, they
Enjoy, Phoenix. You'll
Yeah,
love
enjoy.
it. She's watching the final episode tonight.
Of what?
Ooh, that's
Last
an
Last of
interesting
Us.
one.
I need to start that show.
Oh,
No,
thank
but
God
the-
McDonald's is getting it for 10 years. Sweet.
Ronald McDonald's getting Call of Duty.
Samsung
Yeah.
fridges.
No,
Yeah.
I think
Oh,
what they,
that would be good.
if I remember
actually.
correctly, the deal with Valve was kind of like they offered the same deal as with everyone, and it was like, we'll guarantee it, and Valve was basically, you're gonna do it anyway. We don't need to sign
Where
this."
else are they going with it?
Yeah, I was
Right.
like, what are you on about? Of course you're gonna bring your games over to
Yeah.
Steam, and they're like, yeah, we probably are. It's fine. So Valve hasn't actually signed it, but they haven't offered a deal. But everyone else, but then we have GeForce Now, and then this week Boosteroid, followed directly by Utomic, was it? No, not
Ubitus.
Ubitus. Not Utomic. I'm guessing Utomic has had it as well.
I don't think any of the
Utom-
none of the curated library guys are going to get
I'm
it off
I'm sure
because it
No.
has to be
don't-
pulled in from via either Microsoft Store or from Steam.
I wouldn't be shocked if they tried to offer Utomic. Black Nut will probably get one. Amazon-
Black
can't
Nut
see.
just did a partnership with Focus.
Yeah,
So
Yeah.
they
Yeah, I
have a
know.
partnership
Yeah.
with
I-
Focus.
Does
They've
it
got
matter though? Like
another
what?
French company.
So
Yeah.
what's the point of an Xbox then?
Well, it's
Mike-
a place
like,
to put
this
your
is a-
eggs. I mean, where else are you going to put them?
I think,
Well, I don't know. I
think
I mean,
what's-
look, this whole deal. This is the stupidest deal that in the world, and I love that the villain in all of this is still Sony. Like it makes no sense. It blows my
Well,
mind.
they're the impetus, aren't they? They wouldn't
They
be doing
did
this
not-
if it wasn't
be-
for the
because they're
Activision Blizzard deal.
well, they're succeeding, and Microsoft is falling apart at the seams with this.
Yeah.
And
Microsoft.
Go ahead.
No, nothing.
Let's go
I wanna
SPG
hear.
and then
I'm
John
gonna
Carr then.
be quiet.
All right. Well,
Not gonna go there.
what I find interesting is the stuff that we don't know. They're
Yeah.
spreading the Xbox game love around like, you get a deal, you get a deal, you get a deal. But so what it shows is that getting this deal done, the big one that they're trying to do, is more important to them than the next decade of exclusivity or profits or any of that. We may be missing something here, boys. We may be missing something here.
Yeah, I think I know what we're missing. We can dive deeper into it later. John Carr, what you had something in your mind as well on this?
Oh, maybe it's just Microsoft branching out more into the publisher role of games instead of selling hardware, because I mean the hardware they lose money on it, whereas
Yeah,
the
and
games is where
hardware's going down.
the money is for them.
Yeah.
The same applies to Sony. I think Sony is eventually 10 or 15 years from now Probably going to focus solely on publishing games, especially as cloud gaming becomes more accessible,
'Cause, I mean,
easier to
with
stream.
cloud,
Yeah,
with
100%
cloud,
agree.
the need to sell hardware is going well
Yeah, I
down.
think they're just playing the long game, and
Yeah. And I mean, they have Phil Spencer has said in several interviews, like just like 6 months ago, like we want to bring Game Pass to everyone, like everyone who, like in every way possible. Like if you, no matter where you play, we want Game Pass to be an option for you. So this goes hand in hand with that as well. But also, let's say welcome to Ant.
Woo!
Hey, guy,
What's going on, guys?
Hey, but hang on a second. It says "and now you." I thought you changed it to King of Content.
I did, but I used the email that you guys created a long time ago, so whatever name I guess it had is still there.
I need to go and change that then.
Yeah, I'm
I'll
there
change it
already.
next week.
I'm there already. Don't you worry.
Awesome.
How are you, my friend?
I'm doing good. I love the conversation. See, I love the spicy stuff. So I love that you guys said, "Hey, we're gonna do a little spicy stuff in the beginning." And the thing was cool is because of daylight saving time, I was like, "Oh, I could get on the show early."
Yes.
So
of course.
yeah, it's kind of cool.
Yeah, you know what,
Yeah,
Bjorn? We're
well,
going to have
yeah.
to make this a 9 o'clock show, aren't we?
Yeah, we are. We're gonna have to push this.
Get all these guys on early.
I'll go to. I won't go to bed before midnight anyway. So
Yeah.
like,
I tell you what's interesting is the Ubitus one, because Ubitus isn't a cloud gaming provider, as are the others. What it does is it helps facilitate cloud games. So they are the guys that took games and made them cloud ready for Nintendo
Right.
Switch, right? So what's actually
they're
happening
like
here
a
is
service provider.
yeah, and this is Microsoft's sleight of hand, because what they're basically saying is, yeah, we're giving one to them as well, but they're not. They've got to give it to them to make Call of Duty cloud-based to run on the Switch, because it can't run natively on Switch. It can only run in the cloud, right? So you can't have one without the other. Ubitus is their cloud readying partner. So when
but
they say we
also-
give one to them, it didn't. It's just one big clunky,
Yeah, but also
homogeneous.
the like Ubisoft is like they are also providing that same service that they are to the Switch to various telcos around the world.
Yes.
And I think that's when I talked to over Thanksgiving. I had a chat with Max from Outdoor Games on this show, and he basically confirmed that he basically said that there is a lot of really good telcos doing cloud gaming around the world that is being overlooked in the grand scheme of things. They are doing, like they're a big deal, like in good business. So to me, this sounds like those telcos. Like if you have a telco that provides cloud gaming as a as extra thing on the side to entice new customers, they might be bringing, like, you have all the Xbox games and all of these games streamed to your phone thanks to our awesome.
Yeah, and you've got to have bought them from either via Nintendo or via from Steam, because we still don't know. I know Bjorn and I talk about this. We debate this daily. Bjorn is convinced that you're going to be able to play these for free if you've got a Game Pass account.
Yep.
And I'm convinced that won't be the case. I'm convinced
Yeah, I don't
you'll
think
have
that's
to
gonna be
buy.
the case.
Yeah.
No.
What do you
You
think?
mean
Ed?
if you have Game Pass on GFN? Or?
Yeah. Well, no, yeah. But so Bjorn thinks that if you have a GFN account, you'll be able to go in and link straight away to the Xbox store, and then you'll be able to play them on Game Pass.
Yeah,
But
like the
I'm
same
not
way that if
convinced.
you have a
Ubisoft.
Ubisoft Plus subscription, you can play the game.
That's
Ubisoft
true.
games on.
That's true.
on-
Yeah,
on
it would be
GFN.
crazy.
See there.
But and I think that's coming to Game Pass on these cloud servers as well, because from where how I'm viewing this, all that Game Pass, like Xbox, really cares about at this point is they're gonna keep selling games to their customers through PC and through Xbox for that audience. But they do want, like, I don't think they see that, like, selling individual games as the way forward for them in terms of, like, expanding the gaming business. The way for them to expand is getting Game Pass in the hands of new customers that otherwise couldn't play.
Let me can I jump
and
in
that's
there real
not
quick
new. I
before
think
I
that's
get
another interesting thing to remember is, like you talked about, like, interviews with Phil Spencer in the last 6 months. Try, like, the past few years. He's been talking about wanting Game Pass everywhere, wanting people to play games everywhere. And this, though possibly, well, let's not say possibly, this, though it is a publicity stunt, also they're putting pen to paper on stuff that they've been saying for years that they want to do.
Yeah.
So now they're straight up
And
saying, not only are
You
we
know
just
what?
talking about wanting our games everywhere, we're making deals to make sure that that is a possibility
well,
and does happen. So,
Yeah.
and
I don't think it's really
here's the
anything
thing
new.
too.
I just
Yeah.
think,
Get out of
like
here.
I
I'm
had
not
said
a podcast.
before,
I just told
now
you
we
that.
got flashy, pictures put up
Yes, I
on social
am.
media with these different companies and Microsoft, which a lot of people are saying, whoa, this is crazy. And it's like, we've been talking about this for years.
Yeah,
So,
yeah, yeah.
Yeah. And go ahead.
Yeah, I think the thing too is we all want cloud gaming to succeed, right? So in a way, this is good. We've all said Xbox is kind of, or xCloud is the most recognizable because of Microsoft Xbox. So when they're doing deals with everybody, there's large YouTube channels I watch. They had no clue what Boosteroid was, but guess what? They know what Boosteroid is now. Like they know what GFN is now because now they're like, wait, what's that? Because of Microsoft doing this deal is making people say like, oh, this is a cloud service thing, and so now the at least cloud gaming is talked about more than it was before. But here's what I want to touch about. I don't think this deal is a problem. Now I know the skeptics they worry about 10 years from now what could happen. I get that, right? But we don't know what's going to happen 10 years when if the deals are over. But for right now, it really isn't. It's really a benefit because it's going to allow more people to play more games for a
Yeah.
cheaper price.
In the
So
short term. In the
Yeah,
short
yeah,
term.
10 years.
but let me
Well,
just add, but that there's a reason why Sony don't want this to happen though, because no matter what, it's a business, and you don't want to see the other
Oh,
company spread the love. Everybody,
exactly.
Xbox, Game Pass, Game. Sony doesn't want to see that, man. It's competitive.
Yeah.
They don't want to see that, and that's why they're like, "Hey, we'll give you Call of Duty for 10 years." No, we don't.
Yeah,
We don't.
but also
We don't
like
want that.
everyone keeps talking about these deals as it's gonna be a deal to we're gonna bring like this is gonna bring the Call of Duty and like the Activision Blizzard games. What it actually is gonna do is it's going to bring all the Xbox games, and from what I've heard from like whispers behind the scenes that it might like they the people on the receiving end of these deals they are expecting to get all the games that are on Game Pass through this. And on the services before at some point. And then if the deal goes through, that would also then include the the Activision Blizzard games. But like it will probably begin with like the deal basically says, from what I've heard, that it's that they're expecting Xbox like the Xbox Studios games, like Microsoft owned games, Bethesda
so
games,
everybody's not getting every
and probably
Xbox game. Some people are only getting Call of
Game
Duty. You got to
Pass,
read
all
it
games on Game
because
Pass.
certain ones are
yeah, because
only getting Call of Duty.
but I mean, be
So
real about it. These people are
it's
making these deals, right? In the
individual
background.
deals.
And Microsoft saying, "Hey, we want to do this for 10 years. We're going to give you, the ability to play our games on your platform, whatever it is." Could you imagine them being like, "But not Game Pass games"? The
Yeah.
other people would be like,
'Cause
"Are you
that would-
serious?" That's
like, that-
that's obviously what everyone's
it
thinking.
would go against the goal of Xbox right now, which is to get
Yeah.
which is Game Pass.
Right.
Chonka, you looking like you want to say something?
Well, 10 years is a long time. I mean, on the other hand, companies like Sony and Nintendo, whatever company you wanna name, they have 10 years from right now to innovate, to catch up, to do something different. It breeds competition is good. It gives way to new things. Look at PlayStation Plus, how they've improved it to be able to catch up to Game Pass, because it's quality-wise it's taking huge steps. So I think it's a really good thing. And as I don't know who one of you guys said, for cloud gaming it's great because there's a lot more options, and this is probably the best news GeForce Now had in like 2 years. I mean,
Boosteroid ever.
Yeah.
yeah, exactly. Yeah.
I just
100%.
as a consumer, and there's times I've used Boosteroid. It works great for me. You want options. I don't always want to burn out my PC.
Exactly.
If I can get a chance to play on the cloud and play on Boosteroid, hell yeah, and play Xbox. I got Game Pass. That's great, and I'm loving what the PlayStation is doing right now with the. I'm like, thank you. They're finally putting the games that I want to
Yeah.
play on my PS5 and stream in the cloud. So,
Yeah.
like I said, deals like this, it's a win. Consumers, you should be happy and should rejoice.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you're right, Ray. We're already seeing the fallout in terms of the quality lifting up to keep us all paying these subscriptions, because ultimately that's what this is all about.
Yeah.
And
Like,
partly,
the
I think,
amount of-
like
Oh, God.
like Sony's attitude towards Microsoft, it's all in the game, you know. It's just how the game's played, I think.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
business wise. So there's no need to feel sorry for them, I think.
No.
No,
Yeah.
definitely.
don't think anyone.
And I'm a Sony
Sony's
guy.
doing-
I love my
Sony's doing
PlayStation,
pretty
so
That, that's a good
I'm
conclusion.
not an
Yeah.
Xbox
They're doing
fanboy.
pretty good. They're doing really, really good right
Yeah.
now. But from a business, I understand. I understand. But Game Pass has been great. I'm not spending $70 every time a game comes out. I used to $200-300 a month just buying games, and with Game Pass and subscription, it has saved so much money between me and my son and my daughter. You know, my daughter plays Nintendo. My son loves PlayStation 5 and Xbox. I've saved so much money. But don't get it twisted. Xbox Game Pass is going to be changing that price soon. It's going to go up.
They're gonna
It's
take
going to
over,
go up.
bro.
It's going to
They're
go
gonna-
up. It's going to go up.
They're gonna
Well,
take
maybe
over,
this
man.
is Microsoft's secret master plan. They're spoiling the younger generations.
Well, I'm just saying. Let's say these 10-year deals all dry up. They can take their ball and go home.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, they can.
Yeah.
10 years,
Yeah.
And
I'll
you got-
lose money for 10 years
and
because
you
I'll have it
got-
all
and-
after that.
And then you also know
I mean-
in 10 years, there's going to be a new console. There's
Oh,
going to be
sure.
a new
Yeah.
Nintendo. You
And
got,
cloud
I mean,
should be huge by then as well.
I mean,
Yeah.
I'm like a lot.
yeah.
I don't think about that now. They're looking down the future and also getting these IPs underneath Xbox.
But I mean, all
Oh
these
my
little
God.
deals are only happening because Xbox wants what they want.
Yeah.
Period. It's
Yeah,
trying
they're
to
we'll
change
play nice.
perception. No,
Yeah,
they're
we'll-
trying to change
yeah, play
perception.
nice.
That's what they're doing. They're saying, "Hey, man, everybody gets an Xbox game. Come on, hey, let the deal go through. Woo! You know, it's 10 years.
Yeah.
Like, I
Yeah.
just think we may be missing something, man. We might be. We might not be looking at you know."
But wait a minute, is it going to get crazy though? Like with all these subscriptions, me and my wife, we were looking at our bills. Hulu, Sling,
There's a lot.
HBO. I mean, there's a lot of subscriptions. She's like, "What's this booster rate?" Nothing. Just go on. You know, it's like, you know, it's just gonna get crazy. But once again, you got options.
Yeah.
Yep. No. Now, for the consumer in the short term, having more cloud gaming that you don't need the hardware for, to sign up for a subscription and get almost everything, it's very compelling for a consumer. I just think it might be short-sighted to just think all these deals are great because they're only doing some of these to get what they want. And
Oh, yeah.
I would like to know the incentive for all that. You know,
Well,
that's
so
like a-
so with the FTC apparently.
Yeah,
they're
I
saying,
know.
They're saying now, you know, like, do you know what? We'd actually like to see some of the detail.
Yeah.
And there is
Yeah, but-
confusion out
but
there.
there's no
That's
conditions
because
on it either,
Microsoft's
right, Rob?
not showing anything.
Yeah,
They're
right.
they're refusing. They've been requested to show certain things at least 20 some times,
Yeah.
and they've refused all those. What are they hiding?
The
The
rocks,
thing is-
the rocks behind
Doesn't
their
matter.
name.
It doesn't matter if they refuse. It's gonna be like either you,
It does
like,
matter
either you
because
show
they
us
can-
or you don't get like we're
Well, yeah,
definitely
exactly. They're
Sony.
running out
So
of
they're
time.
going, but like they're just pushing it as far ahead as it can. They're going
Right,
to show it
but
eventually because they want. the
They're
people
not going to
through.
just keep getting extensions on this. The government's not just keep
Yeah,
allowing
and
this
then when
them
the
to
second
drag
they
their
say
feet.
you don't get another extension, they're like,
But I
okay,
believe they
then
have
here
to
you go.
August.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and in August, and in 1 week before, they're gonna present all these documents. Like, here you go, because by then everything is already like in motion. It doesn't matter if it's like they're just stalling because they know that they can, and it doesn't really matter for them. Yeah,
They're
But then-
they're dragging it out so they can keep giving freebies to everybody to make them look like the good guys.
Yeah, we'll play
Yeah.
fair. Yeah, there's no stipulation in there in
Look,
the law
look, we're
that
not
we
the
have
same-
to play fair. So we're gonna show you
Look,
we're
guys,
playing fair.
we're not the same Microsoft of the '90s. This isn't the '90s Microsoft. We're
But the
different.
thing is,
Look at us.
these consumer protection like government agencies, they are just like, fine, do that. It's good for the consumers, so that we're happy with it. And then we can you can do whatever you want.
Well,
and then in
they
August
just
we're
need
gonna
to-
make the decision anyway.
But somebody should keep track of what they're saying so they don't keep getting caught in lies. Though, when when you're dealing with international governments and U.S.
Oh, I
governments,
think plenty of people are watching them, mate. I don't
well,
Oh yeah.
no, I understand. No, I get that. Clearly, somebody at Microsoft isn't. If you can't keep your story straight, it doesn't help your case when your own story
No.
changes from one agency to the next.
Deal's gonna go through.
I'll believe it when I see it. I will believe it when I see it.
Deal's gonna go through.
Yeah, it will go through.
I don't hate Xbox. I just think this deal's a joke, and this.
It ain't a joke for me.
Yeah, but why-
It's a win for me. I could
Yeah.
care less. It's
Yeah.
a win for me.
Same.
It's going to be
Yeah.
a win short term for a lot of consumers, and I think that's
Yeah.
really
Well,
exciting.
Yeah.
Here's the thing. Here's the thing. So what people isn't bringing up, and what Pro or SPG is alluding to, short term, it looks good, right? On paper, hey, we all get games. If Call of Duty is $70 outright, but it's $15 on a subscription, $10 on a subscription, it makes sense, right? We all get that. But what SPG is alluding to is 10 years from now, the thing is, if one company could have all this stuff on a pass, right? Just subscription, right? So then what happens is competition is going to get jacked up to the point where, okay, so if it's $10, $15 on one platform, right, on a service, but if you have a PlayStation, it's going to cost you $70. You're going to be, and that's your favorite game, you're going to be thinking, I should then buy an Xbox, right? And so what's going to happen eventually, then you're going to have other companies saying, okay, if so many people are getting on Game Pass, now companies are going to be, it's going to make more sense for them to put on Game Pass, and then it's going to make them the dominant force, right? Because if each game is just $70 across the board, then it's fine. We're all even, right? You either buy it for PlayStation, Xbox, or Nintendo, or PC, right? But if it's on a subscription service, then that's the thing. The future could look as a monopoly for Microsoft, right? And so then they worry about.
Sony is terrified of Microsoft sitting down at the table and smacking it and making all the pieces go jumping up and flying around, because that is uncertainty, and shareholders do not like uncertainty. They don't.
But Ant's point is why I don't think this is going to be Game Pass games, because if you go to CMA or FTC and say we're actually spreading Game Pass across all these platforms, they're going to say, well, hang on, that's making you even more of a monopoly. You're supposed to be doing this. You're sharing the love.
I'm just referring, Rokk, I was just referring to Microsoft specifically getting Call of Duty and Call of Duty and King and Activision games on Game Pass. So the other ones, it's spelled out. Like when I was covering it, if you look at the Nintendo deal, it only says Call of Duty. So some people, it shouldn't say Xbox PC games. That everybody's not getting an Xbox PC game. Everybody's getting Call of Duty.
You're right, and that's the thing I was going to say, Ant, because I think this is where people are getting confused. If you think about it, Boosteroid already had access to everything on Steam, right? So there's no great deal. What there is here with them is purely PR, because they're in the Ukraine, and
now that is a topic of contention right there, Rokk. People are looking at a tweet, okay, or not a tweet, but their Boosteroid's account. A few days ago, it was listed as Romania. Now we all know that they're involved in Ukraine.
No, that's where the money. That's where the money is, Romania.
Correct.
Yeah.
But we've known that for a very long time from the beginning. But the account itself said Romania, and then Microsoft did this tweet about Ukraine.
And suddenly it's Ukraine. I know.
Yeah,
I've made a big thing of saying this on my
though.
show on Clock, William, because we know they've even said themselves they have an R&D office in Ukraine. That's that doesn't mean the bulk of their staff, all their money are there. That means I could be one guy at the back of a toilet in the library in Kiev.
But
the conspiracy is that Microsoft said, "Hey, change it."
Well, and the other thing is so they've already got the games. The other thing is that what they've actually offered to Nintendo is Call of Duty, and they've gone through Ubisoft to give them Call of Duty. The only people in this entire story that have got anything they never had before is GeForce Now. because they never had access to these games. They're still being tethered like a rabid dog by the industry, where everybody else is allowed to just fill their boots with games.
Do you think they're being punished for like having all the games at one point?
I think,
and then getting smacked
and it's time. It's time to let them go.
I think so.
Truthfully, there was a time when they were like Boosteroid, and the industry kicked them from here to hell.
I remember. I was like, no,
everything was
not
yanked
the
from the
Rockstar
service.
games.
Yeah, they killed them completely, and then gradually let them have crumbs till they get to the point now where it's like, I tell you what, we're good boys. We'll let you have some of our games on PC, whereas other services already had them. None of you, Utomics and Black Nut and those guys, they don't offer this kind of a service, so you're not going to see this offer for them. You know, they're offering curated games like Stadia.
At the same time, though, there was this tweet from a respected journalist who was basically saying Microsoft is preparing more deals to other cloud providers as well.
Well, sure, they want what they want.
Yeah.
They want what they want.
So,
I don't mean nothing.
Like Black Nut and Utomic might get deals as well. But I think on one hand, I mean, Boosteroid has access through Steam. They can just add, Microsoft can just add all the Steam games. At the same time, I think Microsoft, it's in Microsoft's best interest to add not the Microsoft Store versions, because then they can sell. People can buy Minecraft, for example, straight up and play it on Boosteroid. But they could also the second they do that, then taking the step to add also the option of using your Game Pass ownership.
Yeah, but this is
minimal.
the thing, Bjorn.
And
that's in your interest, and that's in Microsoft's interest. Yeah. It is 1,000% not in Sony's interest, and that is why CMA, FTC, EU are going to say no if the details say you've got direct access to the Microsoft Store and/or Game Pass. That's why it's purely Steam or Epic-based PC games.
At the same time, though, I think it doesn't the CMA and they're not just looking at it's Microsoft's competition to Sony. It's Microsoft's competition, period. And if everyone else is if Microsoft is saying we're gonna put our games on anywhere that wants them, and if Sony doesn't wants them, they can have them too.
PlayStation, would you like Game Pass?
Yeah, and they have offered the PlayStation that before, and PlayStation turned them down.
Wonder why?
Yeah,
I tell you what, we'll have Game Pass if you have PlayStation Plus Premium. We'll just do it.
That's like
I would like that.
That's like McDonald's, man, going into Burger King. Hey, can I put some of my apple pies in your front window?
Hey, you don't mind if I put some door? Have it my way, right away.
You know,
that's a bold move.
Exactly.
Yeah, but I mean, it is in Microsoft's interest to do it. Microsoft wants to do it, and I think the CMA and the they're I can see the case that you're making, Rokk, that that it might be against what they're doing. I can also see them saying, if you putting it everywhere, it means competition. It means that users can choose which platform they want to use.
Well,
and then have access to it, and then be more lenient about it.
So the issue with them looking into the deals is because Sony said that it's possible that they could give them a kind of a watered down version, because in the deal, right, what Sony is saying that they could, for instance, remember when Stadia got a lot of games and it took forever to get updates, everywhere else got it. So what Sony was saying is, well, you could give us a Call of Duty, but then take a while to update the game, or the game have a lot of bugs. So they said that's the potential, the possibility. So the reason why they're looking into the deal is because now they want to make sure if it's going to be the same across the board for everybody. Like, for instance, if Ninja Guy get Call of Duty and Rokk get Call of Duty and Ray get Call of Duty, are you going to have enough people to say, okay, we're going to update the game, it's going to be the exact game, everybody's going to get the same DLC? So that's what they want to make sure, is that if there's no terms in it, that certain platforms will get short-sighted. That's the main part of them now saying, okay, we want to see the deal.
Hey, Sony, this is what we'll do. We'll add a Spider-Man character on Call of Duty. How about that? An exclusive Spider-Man character that you can play on Call of Duty. How about that? Because you did that in Marvel Avengers.
Yeah.
Although they probably wouldn't put an AK in Spider-Man's hand, just saying.
Yeah,
probably not.
I don't think Disney would agree.
Yeah. Well, you're seeing a similar thing.
No, not.
Go
Well,
ahead.
real quick, I was gonna say not really. 'Cause look at Fortnite. Everybody's in Fortnite. And they're all running around with AKs. And
Yeah.
Spider-Man was in Fortnite. So
That's true.
Yes,
No,
it's
if you
true.
look at what's it called, Ghost Thingy Bob Tokyo. What's it called?
Ghostwire Tokyo.
Okay.
Yeah.
yeah, Ghostwire.
So that's a
Ghostwire.
free game with PlayStation Premium this month, and it's coming to Game Pass on April the 12th. So they've
Next
got a
month.
right.
Right.
So you look at that and think, well, hang on a second. This was originally an exclusive on PlayStation. They're now giving it away for free as well. So they're undermining the fact that it's coming out on Game Pass. On Game Pass, you get extra content, which you don't get in the version they're giving away on PlayStation, which is exactly what you've just said, Ray,
Right.
about giving different levels of content into different games.
Yeah, and that studio is now also like that is a Bethesda-owned studio, meaning it's
Bethesda,
Microsoft
yes.
studio now.
Yeah.
So,
Yes.
but which was exclusive to PlayStation is a weird mess. Like exclusive.
Well, no,
exclusivity
because
in
that was
general
before.
sucks.
That's before the ink was dry on the Bethesda deal. So they already made
Yeah.
that a PlayStation timed exclusive. Now that it's Bethesda is under Microsoft, so now they're gonna get it. It makes sense, right? Oh, hey, the
Yeah, it
company
makes
now, the Microsoft company. Why not us give? Because the thing is, you're still gonna have stuff that's gonna be exclusive, right? We're never gonna see the day. Like exclusivity is beneficial, right? Because it's a certain thing called brand supremacy. You need your brand to look strong, which is why Sony wouldn't want Game Pass. Like imagine if people say, I only use my PlayStation to play Game Pass. That would not be a good look for Sony. So you're always going to have certain exclusives, which makes sense. But a game like Call of Duty that's massive and was on everything, Sony just don't want.
Oh
Hell,
no!
man.
We
No.
lost
He just
him.
got
I
shot
can-
by Phil
makes
Spencer. He
sense.
came out from the grassy knoll.
I think that's his data limit.
It was the school book depository. He took it right out there. Do you know there's
I
a
understand exclusives. I do. But every company needs to get their head out of their ass when it comes to crossplay. I think every game,
Yeah.
no matter
Yes.
where you
Yes.
got it, where it plays, you should be able to play together. I don't
100, mate.
I think
100.
at this point,
because
almost
because
every
I just ran into another issue. A buddy of mine, Suave, likes zombie games. I was playing Dying Light 2. I've been playing with Callie, another friend of mine, and he says, hey man, I'd love to buy it, but I'm on Xbox. Can we play together? I typed in, I Googled it. Is it crossplay? Yes, it is, but it's between Xbox and PC, or Xbox and PlayStation, not PC. So the answer was yes, but we still couldn't play together. So he bought it and he likes it, but we can't team up. It it kind of sucks. I think I get the exclusive thing, but I think crossplay should be a mandatory thing.
I mean,
100%.
honestly, like I get from a business perspective, I get exclusivity, but I like from a at the same time, I think like I get exclusivity in the form of like Sony and Microsoft doing exclusives to get people over to their ecosystems. I don't like exclusives, and I don't think we should. Like, I think we should strive to get away from exclusives as an industry.
Timed exclusives, I think, are okay, and the reason I say that is because I don't have to go out and buy like hardware at a loss to them to be able to check out the game eventually. Like look at Spider-Man. I was able to enjoy that on PC. I would love to play Spider-Man 2 when it comes out. I know I have a wait to go for that, but I don't know. Timed, I guess, isn't as bad, but exclusivity can suck though. Look at Nintendo. I can't play Mario. I can't play Zelda unless I buy the Switch.
That's what gaming has been since the beginning of time. I mean,
Yeah.
there's always been exclusives. That's what makes the brand. That's what certain consoles have died because they didn't have the exclusives.
Yeah, and the thing is, we are like
Stadia.
like we are in a like that the idea of exclusives being the default thing for platforms is so deeply ingrained into everyone's minds. But we are getting to a point where with crossplay, with cloud gaming, and like where exclusives doesn't have to be a thing anymore. We as an industry could move away from exclusives and be fine. But
and that's why I
we're
think
so set into our ways.
that's exactly the reason why I think Microsoft is going the publisher route, because they see it coming, and once everything's
Sony's
accessible
bread
to
and
everyone,
butter
it's
is their
about the games you
exclusive,
sell.
man. Sony's IPs are amazing.
Well, look at this.
they are amazing.
I want to bring up Nintendo one more time. they're so like they're so solid on their game design and their everything else that they don't even push their hardware. They don't have to.
Yeah.
They don't have to.
Yeah.
Like that blows my mind considering the atmosphere everything else is in. You know, like they don't have to push it.
Don't forget Nintendo. Nintendo's,
That's what-
I mean, exclusive.
Yep.
Yeah, Zelda.
Yeah,
Can't find that
they can get-
flipper anywhere else, can you?
But like, there's so much in their own world, right? Like, by the way, hi guys, I haven't talked in a while, but
Hey, it's Ninja. Hey, buddy, thanks for joining us.
no, but I mean, there's so much in their own world. They have all their fans. They're also like really focused on their stuff. Like, they don't need to make them, to other platforms compared to the other types of, Sony and Microsoft, because they're like their own brand, right? When you think Nintendo, you don't think a video game. You think like, when you think like Mario, you think like, oh, this is Nintendo. Like it'd be weird to see it somewhere else. Can you imagine playing Mario like on a PC? With mods?
you're not going to see
I
any
can
Star
imagine
Wars
it,
stuff
but
on
it's not
Netflix,
happening.
are you?
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. But that's just my mindset, I guess,
Emulation.
right? Yeah, for sure. That's just my mindset. Like, it's just an opinion. Like, I mean, of course, it would be awesome if they could publish everywhere, but I feel like they've just like branched off from the competition. They're just doing their own thing, and they're okay with that. They don't need any like super crazy hardware.
Yeah.
They're not into that either. So
Where do you
and
think Nintendo would be though without that that confidence or whatever in their IPs? Like they'd be chasing the hardware thing.
Oh,
It'd be a very different
definitely.
company. Very
yeah.
different.
So if they would be like maybe less like failing a little bit, of course they'd have to change. They'd have to put these games on other platforms for sure.
But look at, I mean, they have the exclusivity masterclass, because look at the Pokemon games.
Oh,
According to the fans, every single game since Red and Blue has been a disappointment, but they're still the best-selling games.
Oh my
Yep,
god,
best
every
it
single
ever.
time.
Like
Yeah.
the Pokemon
Well-
Pokemon as a franchise in terms of entertainment franchises, so games, TVs, books, everything. The only franchise that's bigger than Pokemon is Winnie the Pooh, because it's been around for so much
Wow.
longer. And it's like estimated $1 billion in revenue ahead of Pokemon. So Pokemon is going to go blow past Winnie the Pooh any day now and be the most profitable entertainment brand ever.
That just
crazy.
reminds me of the big budget movies like Transformers. Like the movie's not good. Made a
No.
bunch of money. It made a bunch of money every
Like
time.
the
They
Pokemon
kept getting worse.
brand. Like the Pokemon brand, I think if from memory has brought in something like $72 billion over its lifetime. Winnie the Pooh is like 75, and then like
Which is in the public domain now.
I was going
Yeah,
to
and then if you
just
look at
say
number
the
three-
same
Yeah,
thing, William.
exactly.
Yeah.
Yes.
And if you look at number 3, it's like 50 billion. It's like Star Wars.
Yeah.
So like the gap is massive, and Pokemon is just going to keep running. So Pokemon is insanely huge.
Well,
and it's
yeah,
not
I mean,
even owned by
Pokemon-
Nintendo.
They released 2 games of every game, and you
Yeah.
buy both.
yeah,
You know? It's like
Yeah.
you're buying
I know,
two
for some
games
people do,
every
yeah.
Exactly.
release.
Yeah,
So-
that's a good shout. Did I ever
But
tell
it
you
also-
that I actually met A.A. Milne's great granddaughter? Did I ever tell you this story, guys? I actually have she was severely disabled, and he donated. Well, he didn't donate. Sorry, she inherited a shed load of cash after obviously the family sold everything to Disney, and they built a rehabilitation center for severely disabled people. And I was involved with them, helping them develop the brand. And she made me this plate, a ceramic plate, which I've still got to this day, which is I treasure it. It's up in my loft. She's sadly no longer with us. She didn't live beyond 30. But anyway, just my little Winnie the Pooh story. I thought I'd share that with you guys. Break up the viciousness of the gaming community.
Yeah, that's a beautiful shout. Love
Yeah.
that.
Thank you, Martin.
I kind of want to raise the like show of hands sort of thing. Like, are you for or against the Microsoft Blizzard acquisition?
Yeah, but, for the acquisition itself.
Yeah, like, are you for or
I'm
against?
for. I'm for. Yeah.
I'm for it because I think people should have options, and
Yeah. As a consumer, I'm for it.
yeah, I'm for it.
I don't know.
Junker.
You don't know.
don't-
William doesn't know.
I don't know what it means.
Yeah.
I really don't.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I mean, I you can dissect it in a whole bunch of ways, but what they're gonna do with the power they may get, I mean, who knows? Who knows?
Look at Elon Musk. That might be a clue.
It's Microsoft. What
I'm
do you
in
think
with the
that they're going to do?
Microsoft
With
is
it?
going to buy it and then dig themselves a hole and die.
They're not going to die, but you're just giving them more power. What do you expect is going to happen? The more they acquire.
I mean, 10 years might be great for gaming, and then we go into a dark age. I'm not saying that's the case, but more games with less hardware is okay with me though. For sure.
I didn't even have to raise my hand. Y'all should already know what my opinion is on it.
Yeah. Junko, you were saying something.
I was just saying, in 10 years from now, we're just all locked into virtual reality, so no problem.
They just plug you in. But will there be an Xbox logo on the port device?
We might already be in virtual reality. There's a school of
Let's
thought.
not bring the simulation argument into this. It's a whole
9 billion.
I love it.
9 billion to, what was it, Rokk? 9 billion to 1. We're in base reality.
Is that right?
Yep.
Yeah,
9
that's
billion.
what
Well, that's
says.
roughly the amount of people on the Earth.
In base reality.
Yeah, like if we do live in a simulation, it's 9 billion to 1. We're in we're in the real world.
I am
simulating
heavily
everything else.
invested in Xbox and Sony because I'm just putting it out there. I'm not a fanboy.
No.
I love Nintendo, I love PlayStation, but as a gamer, as a consumer, I have saved a lot of money with Game Pass. So hell yeah, I want this deal to go through because I want to play Blizzard games and Activision on Game Pass. So yeah, I want this deal to go through.
No more division. Let us.
I've gave a lot of money.
I enjoyed the Division's a good game.
Division 3.
Between these companies, I gave thousands of dollars. Buying games and collecting and all this. I need a damn break, damn it. And so I want this deal to go through. But I also want them to be fair and everything. But it also makes these companies step up your game, step up your IPs. You want my money? Step up your
I think let's see. Let's see if we can find the comment. There was someone who commented before that, and I kind of share that opinion that, like, I really that the so that basically I'm for the deal, but I don't really care about most Activision Blizzard games. There's like one or two. Like I like it's like. I think like Crash Bandicoot I like. That's it. There we go. Crow. Activision Blizzard is a mess. Someone needs to go in there and sort it out. And I think, to my knowledge, the people who works at Xbox seems to be kind of happy with how things are run. Maybe Xbox going in and buying it and taking and like sorting it out is just what they need. And for the sake of the people working in there, I think it might be a good thing if you go through. And if we might get better games out of it in the end. And also, like in the whole 10-year thing of these deals, it struck me that who knows? Maybe no one will care about Call of Duty in 10 years. Maybe it doesn't matter.
I go back to this. This can all go away. It almost did with Atari when they made ET and they oversaturated the market. This thing can go the way of the dodo. It can.
Yeah.
There's there's two manufacturers that make graphics cards that power everybody's PC.
Yes.
Like there's two people that make good chips to run that PC.
Yeah.
Like this stuff could disappear. I'm not saying it's gonna, but I do believe that cloud is going to be
Apple
the future.
or Android on your phone. Apple or
that too.
Android
Exactly right.
on your phone.
Yeah.
If everything goes away like this, me and Rhea are gonna whip out our Nintendo 64 and we're just gonna have a fun time on our TV. You know, we're gonna be gaming forever. There's
Can you
no
imagine?
that.
Can you imagine the retro gaming market if gaming ended because Nvidia shut down? Whatever.
Yeah.
Like
Physical games will be expensive.
Yeah,
oh my
buddy.
gosh.
It
Yeah.
would. Very.
There's another dimension to this actually, which you guys may not have spotted because I only spotted it earlier on Rokk around the clock, and then I saw a couple of other people mentioning it. But going to look over at the Epic Store today to pick up their latest free game, right at the top, they're advertising Unreal for Fortnite, all right, which is a brand new application that they're launching coming soon. Now, to me, when you read what it says, it looks like they're setting up a kind of crater Remember Crater Guys on Stadia that was bought by Facebook and then destroyed it? It looks like they're setting up a Crater, so you can use this Unreal Engine to develop your own islands with whatever games you want in those islands and then launch them within Fortnite. Now, that to me sounds like the metaverse. And I absolutely think that's what Mr. Sweeney's looking at creating. Go on, mate.
Cheap development. That's what it sounds like.
Well,
to
yeah,
me.
exactly.
Because, hey, it's the favorite. Okay, we'll use it.
But William, if all the kids are in Fortnite right now, and you say to them, hey guys, you can play other games in here now, and you can, hey look, ChatGPT and Midjourney are here for you to play with now as well, guys. You can do all your homework and everything. Wow. You do not need to leave Fortnite anymore. Goodbye.
Let the AI do the homework while you play Fortnite and get that winner chicken dinner.
Yeah, but this is coming soon.
Dad, can I get this pitch at? Sure, son. How much? It's only $20.
Yes, you can.
It's only $20, Dad. It's an awesome.
I want to be Spider-Man.
Now, this is going to be a pared down version of Unreal that you'll use to create your own
Unreal
content.
Editor.
An editor, and you can work with teams. It allows you to work with a bunch of people, and then you can launch the application into Fortnite and what they call islands. And people just started, hello, what's this? I think this is Tim Sweeney's attempt to thinking, let's make Fortnite the next metaverse or even the next meta. You just don't leave because everything you want is right there. Watch this space, because that's an interesting development for me.
Yeah.
Have you seen the next 2 games coming for Epic for free? I'm pretty excited.
No, let me check that out.
Which one?
Oh no, not chess and
Chess
Ultra. And warships.
And World of Warships. Come on.
I was as excited as you are, mate. Let's be frank.
I like chess though. I do.
But
like
then again,
chess.
how entitled are we that they're giving us free games and we're complaining?
Yeah, I'm claiming them.
Talk about a 21st century dilemma.
When the world ends, I'm like, I guess I'll play Gladius. Dang.
Yeah, and thanks for the fish.
Warhammer's awesome, though.
Yeah. But what do you guys think? I mean, obviously, you've just, that's for most of you, I guess it's the first time you've seen that little Unreal thing. Do you see a potential, like I'm seeing, for a kind of Fortnite-based meta? Jonker?
Yeah, exactly.
Possibly,
what Bro said down there. That's what I think. Sorry, Jonker.
That's okay. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, most of these creation games, they failed, or it's really hard to get it right. But I mean, if one company can do it, it's Epic, I think.
Yeah. Well, Roblox. I mean, they're looking at a kind of. I mean, that's a cesspit right now. Pedophiles and you name it going on
That's
there.
crazy, bro.
That's true, though, isn't it? This guy's on there getting double life sentences. I mean, it's diabolical. But putting that to one side, clearly they're seeing this and thinking, well, if that is Zuck's big plan, that you put on that headset and never take it off because the world is within the metaverse, well, we've got all the kids. We've actually got his audience. So we just do that for ourselves. I mean, this may be step one of moving towards that kind of an environment.
But I mean, it always feels like these companies want to find the next Fortnite, or I mean, something to get all these kids into the next game. But I mean, even Fortnite was an accident. I mean,
right? It's exactly.
You know what kids want? The next generation. It's almost impossible to predict.
Never know.
Rumbleverse.
Yeah, sadly not.
No.
This verse.
It's I've been watching the whole ChatGPT, Midjourney, Deep Fusion. I've been watching this intensely over the last month or so, and literally what's coming out from there with there's an application, I think it's called Wonder, and it's partly backed by Steven Spielberg. And you imagine Midjourney, where you basically in Discord, I'm sure you guys have played with it, but you put imagine prompt, and then it just designs the most gorgeous. With this new application, it'll do the whole thing, but as video. So you say, I want to see a Ninja Turtle on a skateboard heading down a road, but from that angle with the camera. And when it gets to the end, it does this, and it generates the entire sequence for you. I mean, it's just mind-blowing where games and entertainment could be within the 10 years that you were mentioning, John. I mean, we're all worrying about what's going to happen with Call of Duty. You'd be building your own just by saying what you would like and having it interpreted by artificial intelligence.
Where you're
Yeah, I think the
what you're
Superstar's
playing
voice.
on. Who knows?
Yeah, I think the 10-year limit on the deal is like after those 10 years are up, the whole acquisition and deal probably didn't matter much in the end by then anyway. At that point, they're like, it's just a bunch of studios that they own, like the IPs. Like there's all new IPs that we care about, all new companies that we care about, all new companies that these people want to acquire, or maybe someone else wants to acquire Xbox at that point. Like I think 10 years it's not a lot of time, but at the same time it's a lot of time. So
God,
Well, it ain't for me. I ain't got that long left.
I got that long left, man.
yeah, that's what I said. It's a long time, but it's also not a long time. It's like it's I think the I think I think we'll be fine. With the 10 years. I'm not worried about exclusivity after those 10 years.
Look what I got in the mail, man.
Oh man, so sorry.
mate.
Oh my God, I'm. That's a whole nother story. I'm so depressed.
I'm 6 years older than you. What are you depressed about?
It's all relative, man.
Yeah, and he ain't my relative.
But yeah, so do we want to move on from the Activision Blizzard acquisition?
Yeah.
No, just kidding.
No, let's keep this going.
Ninja Guy's written a whole ton of notes. He's getting ready.
Yeah. For my next interview with Xbox.
Yeah.
Exactly. I'm gonna bring up the. Well, maybe we do it without the screen share because then people can see
You might
your
struggle,
lovely
might
faces.
you, with the amount of.
Yeah, but also your lovely faces people want to.
Yeah. Well, millions, not mine.
So yeah, we obviously lots of deals going on from Microsoft's end. Blacknet Games and Focus Entertainment, as we mentioned before, have announced a partnership. Who here has a Blacknet subscription?
Black Nut.
Yeah.
I had a black nut for 2 months.
I gave Ray one.
Did it heal, Ray?
Rock gave me black nuts for 2 months.
Yeah. Yeah.
What's black nuts? Oh, you mean Neu Noir?
I had black nuts after my vasectomy, but that's a whole other story.
Right, I take that as a no then.
Yeah, no, I've got a black nut subscription, and Ray had one as well. Yeah.
Oh.
So you're gonna play some Focus games on there then?
Well, they're doing it as a separate channel, which is interesting. So they're taking the Luna route. It's going to be its own independent channel within Black Nut, which indicates they're probably going to go that way. They're not going to charge separately for it. It's going to be still one subscription, but they're looking to divide up. Now, you've got to bear in mind as well that this is a French company. They're the guys behind Plague Tale. So, it makes sense for them to partner with. They're Black Nut based in Paris. And it makes sense for them to partner with other French-based businesses. And they're one of the best. And, of course, the other one is Ubisoft. So I wouldn't be surprised if you saw a Ubisoft dedicated channel as well, once they've themselves got their own gear together, because right now they're all over the place. I mean, what happened to Avatar? Where was that game? Wasn't that supposed to come out at the beginning of the year?
It's been delayed.
End of this year, I
till
think.
later this year.
It's end of this year now, is it?
Sometime
So
this
everyone's watched the film, forgotten all about it, and they come up with Avatar. Yay!
Oh, I mean, it's a way to get people excited for the next movie.
Oh,
That's
yeah,
true.
or the pass-through version.
It did get an Oscar though.
Yeah, I don't know that the game will. But so I think that's the deal there. But I think the key thing though is that all of these companies are growing and they're diversifying and they're adding new services and new value to subscribers. So I think it's great.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree.
I think both Utomic and Blacknet are growing pretty rapidly.
Really big, yeah.
Yeah.
And Utomic are growing. You were mentioning earlier about was it you or was it who was mentioning earlier about telecoms? Yeah. So I mean, Utomic, most of their business is providing their service as a white label system to telcos across the world, particularly in the Far East, in Singapore and.
So then both Utomic and the other one on that
Black Nut.
Yeah.
no the one that got to deal with the Xbox, I was thinking. Ubisoft. So Ubisoft and
Ubisoft.
Utomic then both the white labels.
Well, Ubisoft, yeah. Although I believe that their big thing is actually making games accessible via cloud.
Okay.
I mean, I'm not
And
sure
their
what
PC
that needs, but
We started off with PC games because I had a Utomic PC subscription where I was playing their PC games, which was great. They had some really cool games, retro games, and older games, and it worked great. So,
Yeah. But next story then. GeForce Now, the weekly update is here. Quite little in this time around.
yeah,
2 new games.
it's been like that for the last couple of weeks, hasn't it?
Yeah, I mean this is way less than before.
Yeah.
I'm guessing all of the onboarding team is now busy doing prepping for Microsoft.
I don't know
what I
that
was
they're
thinking.
doing anything, because I quite honestly think that what we've seen so far are headline heads of agreement with everybody. I cannot believe for 1 minute that there's an actual contract floating around out there, which is why FTC is saying, show us the detail, and nobody's seeing it. I think it's a phone call. Hi, it's Xbox. Yeah, look, we're thinking of doing this. Are you up? Yeah, I'm in for that. Great. We'll get some PR together and we'll sort the detail out in the future. I'm not convinced it's yet happening.
I think there is I think there's a deal in terms of like a vocal deal, but they're
Yeah,
still
exactly.
ironing out the details. Yeah.
That's exactly what I just said.
it's like,
Whoa, good job.
like what
Bjorn.
they're doing.
You're right,
You know what, Rod? It's like right now. It's like what they're doing in football. They're making right now. They're going after free agents, calling
Yes.
the agents on the phone.
Yes.
Hey, can your player come play for
Yeah.
this X amount of dollars?
Yeah.
You know
calling
what?
me.
We'll do a verbal. It ain't even a shake. It's a verbal.
Exactly.
agreement.
And Ray, they're not going to go and buy the guy kit until they've signed on the dotted. And that's why I don't believe for 1 minute that GeForce are involved in onboarding any games until they know that it's 100% happening. So I don't know. But I do think
I have
there's-
heard whispers about it being a calm before the storm kind of week.
Yeah,
It
I
could
will
be
say
they're
I will say
preparing in the
one
background.
thing on the whole 10-year deal situation. I would agree if it was like Boosteroid and stuff like that. But you having people like Nintendo and even Nvidia, those companies don't play games. You know?
I mean, they do, but
So-
you know.
Well,
They
they'll
don't.
go out with press
They
releases.
want other
just-
people to play their games.
Oh, yeah, true.
But so that's what I'm saying is like Nintendo. We've already talked about it. They're a juggernaut, and so they're not gonna put their name to
Nintendo
something
doesn't
that
play
they
with
don't know what's
anybody,
gonna
so-
happen. You know, even Nvidia.
Yeah.
You know, like
Yeah, these
they're
ain't
not
no
gonna
mom
put
and
their
They
name.
can they can have a heads of
Mom and
agreement.
pop companies.
They can have a heads
Yeah,
of
but
agreement,
you
which is
pissed
essentially
off
a contract. It's just that the
but-
detail is yet to come. And
But
although you're going to go out and
Nintendo's the
press
one that you
release
don't
that,
piss off though.
well, all they know
But-
is, and all we know is that they've got Call of Duty coming, and it's going to be cloud-based because they've said it's going to be the full thing.
But even if there's an agreement like with signed and everything, there is still like, all right, we've signed the agreement, we have agreed what we're gonna do.
Yeah.
Now we're gonna have weeks of meetings deciding how we're actually gonna do that on like technical level.
We don't even know if Ubisoft will deal with Nintendo to get these Xbox games, right? Because
No.
maybe
just-
they didn't
just
even
Call of
talk to
Duty.
each other yet. Maybe
Yeah.
they didn't even talk to each other about
Yeah.
that Xbox deal, right? We just know that Ubisoft is getting a deal with them, but we don't know where that's going yet.
Yeah, that's all we know with all of these. I mean, look, it's different for Boosteroid because they've literally just got to open a door up and boom, there's all our Steam games.
Yeah.
So for GeForce Now, that's a massive commitment because they have to put a wrapper around every single game to make it work with their applications.
And I think
their system.
Booster wants to, I mean, they have their whole install section and then have the library section. They want to put these into the library section.
Yeah, they want to
and I think
legitimize
I
it.
think,
Yeah.
yeah, and I think that's the plan. But I think
Yeah.
they might put it in first in the install section and move on.
Yeah.
But yeah, so but in terms of GeForce Now, we're getting
It
two new
did,
games
Phoenix.
this week.
It did go really quick. She's on about Last of Us, by the way.
Yeah, that's us.
Yeah.
I never watched it.
I I'm too scared.
All right.
He's like the old grumpy bugger on the Muppets, isn't he? Up in his...
Hey,
Look, I'm
you
just gonna
busy diagnosing that dog.
Yeah.
Why do you think I've been very silent? It's patient confidentiality rules.
Exactly,
and
yeah.
A lot
Rufus
of laws.
is-
we got international laws I got to follow. I mean, I'm very ethical.
You see, to me, it looks like a guy who's having carnal thoughts about the animal. That's
Look, I've never killed an animal in a
And he's
video
scared.
game. I'm one of the most ethical people.
Wait, what did you just say, Vet? I'm sorry. What did you say?
My
What?
attorney
This episode
told
is
me
spinning
to
dark.
say that I have never killed an animal on a video game.
Okay.
Legally, I have been told by my attorneys to say it that way.
I don't know if
Any
you were
alleged-
blacked out. I don't know if you were blacked out on moonshine or not, but I walked up to you knifing a dead horse repeatedly in Red Dead.
Yes.
Okay.
Those are all alleged accusations. I have
Yeah.
nothing to say.
Allegedly.
You see, William, you see a dead horse, he sees next week's meal. That's what it's a different way of looking at things, that's all.
Hey,
They didn't have
Daddy,
refrigeration back then. He was getting at it.
I got no comment. No comment.
So yeah,
moving
Bjorn,
on.
I'm pretty excited about these games coming to GeForce
Yeah.
now. Yeah.
So first of all,
Yeah.
let's The Legend of Heroes: Trials to Azure.
Yeah.
What is that?
It's dropping on GFN this week. It's one of those
What about
JRPGs.
It's
from-
a big series. It's part of like a big series in the Trails of, and they're all connected to each other. So it's like the longest running JRPG out there. I think they have like
Oh,
9
wow.
games, and this is the 5th.
Take that, Final
installment.
Fantasy.
Yeah. It's the 5th installment. I think they have 9 games, but they never translated it in English. So
You lost me there, but I know what that is.
yeah.
Nice.
That's not
But
my
yeah,
style
very
of game.
interesting.
Oh no,
Yeah,
my
so,
Utomic subscription's just expired. No.
No.
Wah, wah.
Oh,
Perfect
no.
timing.
Yeah.
Second game we're getting on GFN, Disney Dreamlight Valley.
Yes.
Yeah.
Awesome.
It's a
And
good
that's
game.
a proper yes. I've been so looking forward
Rock,
to
I
it.
literally watched you. You could see the excitement with that.
Mate,
yes, because you're
I paid for
jumping
that
off the
game.
couch.
I own it. I didn't wait for Game Pass. I'm looking forward to playing it.
But you know what? I was excited for that one as well. It's a very fun game to play. I played it on Xbox when it was there. I'm excited to play it on GFN. I'm excited for them to finally get the multiplayer
Yeah.
added this year.
Oh, are they? Ah.
Yes, it
And then
is
it's
on
going
their
free to
roadmap.
play then, yeah? Is that
Yes,
what
it's going free to play. They're adding actually a new realm. The Lion King realm will be added next month. They've got the rest of the roadmap for the rest of this year is multiplayer, new realms, new characters,
Oh.
and new cosmetics, along with going free to play.
So when it goes free to play, does that mean that it'll suddenly be just crammed with microtransactions?
Given its game loft, it would not shock me.
Yeah.
It
Yeah.
would not surprise
How
me. It
else
has
does
a
it
battle,
pay?
but it
It's
also
gonna be,
and
it's
it
gonna
has
be
a
cosmetic though.
it
which
has a
is
Disney
granted.
battle pass, if you will. You know, like everybody has battle passes now for things. This one has one as well
Even
because
golf.
it's game loft. Well,
Yeah.
remember, it's not Disney that made this. I call it a Disney Battle Pass, but Disney did not make this game. They licensed it and had GameLoft make it. So of course there's a Battle Pass, and of course there will be microtransactions.
Yeah.
There'll probably
Yeah,
be
so-
Disney NFTs, and if you say anything bad,
No.
your account gets banned. You know, Tinkerbell. will
It's
just
probably gonna be
poof
a
and kill
like
everything.
you want do you want
Sorry.
this new alternative clothing to Elsa in your world? Then it's
Yeah.
$10.
Different
It's
coloured
still-
beaks for Donald. I'd say
Well,
I'd pay
mean,
for that.
It's still work. I think
See,
it's
it works.
until we know for sure. You know, that's all speculation. But it's still. I think it's a fantastic game.
Yeah.
I
Basically,
had fun when I
mean,
streamed it.
I think it's been described as Animal Crossing meets
Yeah.
It's a lot of
meets
work
Disney.
because it's like
with a hint of Minecraft.
Yeah.
the mechanics that they have built into that amaze me with the time, with day and night, how that works because it's based on your location. So it syncs with
Oh.
your location, so the day and night. If it's daytime out where you live, it's daytime in the game.
Oh,
and
wow.
the characters and everything do their own thing. While even if you're not in the game, they're still going about doing their own stuff. Goofy's still probably being the same special
Goofy.
character he always is.
So that gives me a question, and I think Rokk would be the one who could answer that.
Yeah.
Does
Probably.
GeForce now know your time zone in
Well,
like when you go in?
if you run the app, then it's obviously on your system.
Mm-hmm.
So it's going to know from purely the fact that it's sat on your machine.
Okay.
In terms of if you log into it, I suppose in a way probably because you're logging into a local server, aren't you? I mean relatively local. So mine is
think it-
London, and
I think it
Yeah.
taps into the location thing.
Yeah.
Like,
Okay.
you have location stuff on phone. I mean, I'm guessing maybe if you played it on your phone, on a mobile device, you could disable the location. If you had that location feature disabled
Yeah.
on Android, and I don't know,
I think
assuming
it will
has that
probably take
ability, I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah.
like, and I mean honestly, if you connect, if your closest data center is more than one time zone away, you're probably not gonna have a great experience anyway.
Yeah.
And it's gonna be 1 hour back either way. Not
Can
gonna
I
be
just
noticeable. So
ask,
Yeah, that's true.
do you mind if we get your information and your location?
Yeah.
Allow.
I mean, everybody asks me that, and I'm like, sure.
Yeah, but they're usually wearing a blue uniform with flashing lights on their cars. When
And you have to give them information.
Yeah.
I've actually fired it up on GeForce Now while we've been talking. It's just so gorgeous on Ultimate. I mean,
Yeah.
I
That
would
4080.
I will
4080
say
is
though,
amazing.
if you're going to live stream it, just be careful because
I have to actually.
well, no. I'm saying because of the music, because
Oh
I don't know
yeah,
how
yeah,
YouTube
yeah.
will be with Disney music. 'Cause
I
it
guess-
has the actual Disney.
I'm guessing you can turn off the audio though. It's oh, your music
yeah,
volume.
so you can.
Oh, you've actually got a streaming friendly mode there. I hadn't
Oh,
seen
there
that
you go.
before.
There you
yeah,
go.
yeah.
Yeah, I haven't loaded it up on GF. I haven't loaded it up on GFM.
Yeah.
The last time I played it was on X, but it also has cross save progression.
Yes.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
that's
So
Yes.
as long as if you played it on Xbox when it was on Game Pass, as long as you created your account, I think you still have to go through the tutorial, maybe. But once you log in, it syncs everything,
perfect.
so you won't lose any of your stuff, which is really nice.
Yeah, it's
I'm
good.
Nice.
I'm
Yeah.
absolutely shocked that GeForce Now gave people access to the 40 series cards without paying for them. I really can't. I can't
Because of
believe
the
that.
because of the value and the quality.
You're
Yes,
just
the
better
value,
because
the
you paid
quality.
for one.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I know it's a slippery slope. Now you need a monitor. Now you need now I want that
True.
4080
you
in
know
my
what,
rig, but
I'm really
it's
impressed
just- it's
with
impressive.
that they got a deal with Disney. Like I get it's still look, I get it's still Game Loft
Yeah,
that made
yeah.
the game,
Yeah.
but in reality, they still had to work something out with Disney. And
And I can
Disney's
promise
a
you that
giant
they.
pain in the butt to
like,
do anything.
Give me a
with.
I can
Mandalorian
promise.
game.
I can
Take
almost
my money.
promise you that
Oh,
Disney.
Make it a live
Disney
service.
had to
I don't care.
I wouldn't
man.
surprise me if
Imagine.
Disney had to approve the blog post before they're allowed to post it.
Everything.
Well,
Yeah.
I remember seeing somebody saying there was a bunch of rules and stuff with some other games in the past. But
Yeah,
I
that
don't-
was
I don't
Bjorn,
know.
actually.
Midnight Suns.
Yeah, we
there's
can talk about
certain-
that. That's a good idea.
There's certain games you just have to watch. Like
Hmm.
whether companies that don't like you to say certain things. Whether it's Marvel, it's Disney. That's pretty much the only two I can think of.
Yeah,
sure
it was.
there's
I think,
maybe
if I recall correctly, it was a
DC,
case of like when if you were got a promotional key for Midnight Suns. Along with that came the guidelines for Marvel. And it was basically like you're not allowed to mention DC at all in your content.
I
for
wanted
example.
to just to see what would happen.
They would
I
probably
wanted to
have you take it down, or at least block you from future keys or something like that. It was.
probably.
I think it was 3 pages of like rules.
I fell asleep reading the rules.
This doesn't surprise me.
You had
You
to.
wouldn't have adhered to them
If you,
anyway.
had,
Yeah,
if
yeah,
you were
yeah.
talking
Yeah, I
about
know,
the
I didn't
Marvel
follow 'em.
movies, if you were talking about the Marvel movies, you had to say like inspire. You had to say something specific. You had to say like,
Yeah, it was
Look,
weird.
I've
It was a lot of.
But
yeah.
but I've never seen a game like the amount of requirements
Yeah.
to play a
Yeah.
game and stream it. I'm like, holy crap!
The other thing that you're seeing a lot of recently, from a perspective of getting these codes from various
Oh yes,
places,
Kingdom Hearts, dude. I spent so many hours.
they
on those games.
turn the amount of companies that are now saying, "Do not review this game. We let you have a key, but you must not review this game."
I've
Yes.
never seen those. I've
Yeah,
never
yeah.
found
Oh,
those
yeah. I
companies.
see them a lot now. So they say, "You happily play it. That's fine.
Aw.
But do not do a review of it."
Yeah.
Well, I'm gonna be the one that does then. Damn it!
Yeah, that's why you ain't getting the keys, brother.
Maybe that's why I can't
I
find
mean,
these
it's a lot
companies.
of. I think a lot of it is people.
Right.
I think people don't want like in a lot of cases. I think I heard from Outer Gate said it that
Yeah.
like with review bombing being such a big thing these
Yes.
days. They like in general like if a publisher gives streamers a key, they're like you can play it but don't make a review out of it because we don't want to get like there is the risk. Like we want to give it a week or two, then you can review it, so
Yeah.
that we
Yeah.
don't get
Yeah.
the initial like
Let people
day
actually
one review bombing.
experience it.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So and it's a different world from before.
It really is, and we saw this. We talked about this earlier, Ray, with Forspoken, and I think the worst thing they did was release that demo, because everybody judged the entire game based on that thin slice.
Yeah.
Plus that delay review, it makes
then
people think.
don't
right?
don't relent thin slices of demos. Then
That's exactly what I just said. I think that was the worst
Exactly.
thing they did was release that
And-
demo,
but-
because what do they expect people are going to review it based on?
I just want to know
Yep.
how do some of these games get certification? Because some of these games should not be getting
Yes.
certification.
Didn't you guys showcase one that Rokk was going to showcase one, but didn't
Sex
let
with
us see the
Hitler.
trailer? Yeah,
What?
I don't know what you-
I was waiting for you to
Yeah.
show the trailer.
Sex with
Oh,
Hitler.
I don't know.
I couldn't show the trailer. dude.
Well, I do.
Jesus
I do.
Christ!
It's on Steam. You can go and buy it now. It's on
I
there.
don't feel comfortable buying that.
No, I wouldn't recommend it.
Even
Even one of
me.
the thumbnails, it ain't appealing.
But the thing is, like, one would think I would be the individual that would buy that. I almost called myself a name. But
what?
even I can't get myself around to buy it.
To be honest, I'm amazed that it's on the Steam library. I mean, it's
I am
offensive
surprised
to
people are
so
not
many people.
I am surprised people are not protesting.
Yeah.
Seriously.
Back-
They're kicking off about Atomic Heart. Here's a game that literally idolizes one of the largest mass murderers of all time.
Yeah, I can't believe it's coming to PSVR 2.
Oh,
Nicely done.
Back to what Ray was saying though. The certification thing does bother me a bit, man. How does a game get all the way to being published and be completely broken in multiple different ways?
Yeah.
Like a company nowadays can release the game to 1,000 people, have them sign an NDA, and they'll play the game and report back the bugs for free.
Yeah.
What is going on?
I totally agree. I don't understand it.
Yeah.
The only thing I can put it down to is crunch, William. You know that they literally have run out of time. They've agreed from top level down. We're going to get this game out within this window because we got this game coming out that month and this game that month. That's the only space we've got.
Yeah, and if we don't release it this
Or they're
month, then we
chasing the
can't pay
time they
bills.
own the IP. They have to get something out by a
And
certain
that
date.
as
true.
well.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
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 But then
And like
Hogwarts,
development costs as well. If we postpone it to another month, that's another 200,000 down the drain.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a bunch of things in there.
we'll give you a chair. Would you like a chair? Would you like an action figure?
Yeah.
Here's
A
some
steel book.
Wow,
Here's an
that was
action
a
figure.
nice awkward
Yeah.
silence.
There must be some
Hey.
developers also who knows the tricks, right? The tricks to
I
like go past the certifications and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I'm sure that there's like tricks around that.
Did Ray step away?
Why?
I'm just because all I see on my screen is his face frozen, smiling at me.
No, he's
No,
it's fine
he's
for us.
moving. Yeah.
He's not
Well, it's
smiling
not
at
on
you
mine. This
anymore.
I do see a connection warning on your end.
But Ray, Vet, I
It
did
is.
see.
It's
Yeah,
probably
like,
me.
yours.
Yeah.
Yours is pretty
Probably
weird
is
there.
me.
No,
I don't know
Ray's
why
his
you
normal
keep like
gorgeous
holding the
self.
dog like that, but you know.
Well, I've been. I gave him peanut butter and drugs.
Rob, you gotta give him a better avatar.
So he can get a dog.
What would you like him to have, Ray?
If he's a vet, not a veterinarian, like an actual.
Well, that's the whole
soldier.
joke. Obviously.
He was a veteran.
Yeah, but I haven't got any pictures of Vietnam.
Yeah.
Take a picture from like a Magica Vietnam. That was amazing DLC. Awesome game, amazing DLC. One of the best things I've ever played, honestly.
What was that? Sorry.
Magica. Magica Vietnam.
Oh,
It's,
Magica Vietnam.
Yeah. Check it. So,
Sounds like a
I don't know
horror
if you guys have played Magica, but Magica was a,
Oh, magic.
if you didn't know it, yeah, it's a like fun co-op, friendly fire galore. You're like tongue-in-cheek humor. You basically go around on like asymmetric view and just blow goblins up. Then they did a Vietnam DLC, where it was like you could pick up guns, and then it was like it basically they took goblins and wizards and put them into a Vietnam War setting, and it was like the marketing is so on point. Everything about that DLC was perfect.
Wow.
Were they on acid when they were designing the DLC, or?
Probably it was like I remember sitting in after work with these some of the publishing team for this, and they were like
Yes.
they were like they had just announced the sequel Magica 2, and they were like, you know what we should do? We should tomorrow we should cancel Magica 2 officially, and then wait a couple of hours, and then we announce Magica 3 because it was so much better than Magica. The Magica 2
I
wasn't
thought you
good
said
enough.
Mafia 2. I'm sorry.
Magica.
Would have made more sense.
Yeah, like honestly, the game holds
Oh my
up so
God.
well. Like if you
Oh
haven't played
my
it,
God.
it's super cheap these days. It's amazing. Grab 3 friends and have a blast. Like it's Magica is amazing. It's
Oh, we're back to
it's
sex
fun.
with Hitler again.
Now see,
In
now
co-op.
that is a perfect avatar, Rokk, right there. Those
You like that one, mate?
that?
You can have that one for free. There you go.
Man, I mean, these are topics I didn't expect.
Is that
for
Vets?
tonight.
Yeah,
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 sorry,
yeah.
brother. Sorry,
It's
brother.
okay.
Yeah.
I like it.
Shall we move on with something else? PlayStation fans, PlayStation Plus Extra and Premium are getting a bunch of games.
Yes.
Uncharted
Very good one.
Legacy of Thieves Collection, Chia, the old Stadia exclusive that never became a
Never
Stadia
was.
exclusive.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's coming day one on the PlayStation Plus as well. Tom Clancy's Rainbow Six Siege, Extraction, Ghostwire Tokyo, Life is Strange 2 True Colors, Immortals Phoenix Rising, Life is Strange 2, Dragon Ball Z Kakarot, Street Fighter 5 Champions, Untitled Goose Game, oink oink. Final Fantasy Type 0 HD, never heard of that game before, to be honest. What? Rage 2, Neo The World Ends With You, and Haven. God damn, that's a lot of games. And then also some classics, of course. Ridge Racer Type 4 from the PS1 era, Ape Academy 2 from the PSP, and Siphon Filter Dark Mirror from the PSP. So, that's more games than usual, right?
Well, it won't be
Last
just for the
season,
first tranche. That will be because they release half a dozen for your basic PlayStation Plus, and
Yeah.
then they release a whole ton more about 2 weeks
Is it
later.
usually this many?
Yeah, they
it is.
push out about 20 games in a month across. I mean, this. See, they are their own worst enemy because they do the world's least best self marketing. You know,
Yeah.
everyone's going,
It's
"Hey,
so
there's 3
confusing.
new games on Game Pass, woohoo!" And Sony are like, "Oh, yeah, we've got 20 coming out. We don't really want to talk about it."
Yeah.
It's like, wow, it's
And
your
like the
own
whole
fault.
thing with like, I'm interested in their cloud gaming service. I have no idea what's on
Yeah.
there.
They
It's a mess.
never tell you what games are coming to the cloud gaming service. They just arrive. You think, "Oh,
They
look,
do
it's
one
just
blog
arrived."
post, that's it.
Yeah.
They
But
actually
like
have
even
a
this blog
blog.
post,
They actually do
which
a
ones
blog.
which one of these games are going to be on cloud?
None of them.
All of them. All of them.
All of them, and yet none of them.
How am I going to sign up for your bloody cloud service if you don't tell me what's on there?
It's a quantum leap.
I hate it. Like honestly, that's the only reason I haven't done it yet.
Yeah,
Because I don't know what's on it.
I know.
But to be honest, I mean, from a technical point of view, the cloud streaming for PlayStation Plus is really bad compared to GeForce Now and Xbox.
It's
cloud gaming.
brilliant. It's brilliant. I don't know why. What is he saying? What are you saying, brother? Sony, you're a Sony brother, man.
Oh yeah,
Can't
that's true.
stick with it. It's not. It's great.
We need to help
Actually,
out.
I actually enjoy. It
we
depends
need
what
to help out
games you
GeForce
play.
Now. Come on.
Yeah, I know. Well, it's nowhere. Nothing's like GeForce Now, is it? But actually, it's if you play the newer games, I think it's okay. If you play the older ones, then they're crap because they're being served out on older hardware. But see, the thing that's really upset me is I was hoping they were going to be rolling out their PS5 servers in the new March update, which they never actually did. There was lots of rumors about that coming. I would love to have seen what the quality of cloud looked like coming from a PS5 server, but
Yeah.
it didn't happen.
Do you guys remember when we were all very confused and then very disappointed with Google Play games for PC launching, like first in like 2 countries and then come to the US? It's now expanding to Japan and Europe.
Ooh.
sometime in the next couple of months.
Oh. What does it mean?
Very loose release,
Go
like
Google.
coming soon, but also like in a couple of months. Honestly, like it's one of those, like, everyone thought it was gonna be one thing, it turned out to be something completely different.
Yeah.
So 13 new countries, sometime within the next couple of months. So I don't know, could be 3 months, could be 2 weeks, could be 5 months. I have no idea. Very bad announcement, to be honest. But yeah, more availability for that, which is cool, I guess. I mean, I have Google Play Pass, and if that means I can play some of my mobile games on my PC every now and then, that's
That's
cool.
what I was going to say. I mean, people in Japan now can be on their phone farming something and then jump on their PC and buy gems to finish off the task real quick. It's a win-win for Google.
Yeah.
It is.
Yeah. Also, GDC starts on Monday. I'm hoping. I mean, most of the things happening on GDC is going on behind the scenes. But I mean, you never know. There might be some fun announcement or something.
Google
happening.
Developers Conference, is that GDC?
No, the Game Developers.
Game Developers.
Google did have the Google for Games Developer Summit, but that
Yeah.
was yesterday. 2 days ago.
Okay.
And I sort of forgot it was happening, so I haven't looked up what happened over there. But that's where the Google Play.
They probably rolled out a whole bunch of stuff around AI that turned out to not be as good as they said it was, which is
And
kind
probably rolled out a bunch of like
common stuff.
dev tools for game developers. So like, if you make a game and you want to like automatic matchmaking, and you don't want to have to bother with matchmaking at all, just use this service and host your games with us.
Yeah.
Intel recently did that, Rokk. AMD recently did that. Like, they all do it.
They're all
They
having
get
a
up on-
crack at it, aren't they?
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You got to read the small print
Yeah.
when they're giving you their advertising lingo. That's for
Exactly.
Yeah.
Well, because they are literally right now. It's like it's like a massive bubble, isn't it? If you mention AI, I know for a fact Facebook are buying anybody that do VR, AI, virtual reality, machine language.
Facebook's buying stuff. They just laid off another crap ton of.
But they weren't doing AI and VR and stuff.
Oh, maybe
you
that's
see.
why they fired a bunch of people so they could buy more stuff. That makes
Exactly
Yeah.
right.
When did I turn into an old guy?
I
just
That
noticed
works.
it. Oh, man, I
Oh,
knew
he
I
meant
was.
the picture. Oh,
Wait a minute.
I
Now,
thought it was
because
the whinging. I thought it was all the whinging.
I knew I was old, but damn, I ain't seen my buddy since that other guy. I haven't seen him since Nam.
Hey, yeah, I told you it was your foxhole buddies, man.
Man, that's my buddy
Oh,
Fox.
I
I haven't
can't
seen him
believe-
in like. I
I
haven't seen him
can't
in like
believe
50
you
years.
saved them during Iwo Jima.
Thank you for your service and your duty, sir. Thank
Fox,
you for
I
your
knew you were
service.
still kicking.
Uh,
All right, well, I gotta head out. So now that
Yeah,
I've
thank you
ruined
for joining
the
us, Matt.
entire
Oh mate, I didn't mean to drive you off.
No,
It
it's
was
not
really-
that. No, I have to get dinner ready. It's like 5 o'clock my time. I'm not used to
Yeah.
being in podcast this late. This is past my. Plus, I'm old. I
Get
gotta. The
cooking.
nurse,
cooking,
the
man.
nurse is already yelling for me to take my pills, get back, start using my walker again. I'm supposed to exercise. God, I'm about to throw my
Yeah,
walker
my
at
bad.
her.
You
See
take
you
care,
later,
my
man.
friend.
That's the one. There we go.
Crow!
Chew your
Woohoo!
food, Matt.
Oh, he's gone.
Game that GDC happening. And I mean, GDC is always like. I did notice a trend on Twitter where all of the devs not going to GDC seem to be doing some Twitter networking instead. So I'm gonna go over there and follow a bunch of developers and see if I can get some connections start going.
Yeah.
So that's always fun.
What are you expecting to see there, Bjorn?
I think GDC is like there might be some like I think on, when Unreal 5 was announced, that was on GDC.
Oh.
I mean, so there might be some like cool dev stuff being announced, but I think like there won't be anything customer facing. But GDC is always like after GDC, there's usually so much like announcements happening. A couple of weeks later, like this game has now been signed by this publisher and it's there for being out. Like GDC is the maker of all of these deals normally when it's not Microsoft doing their own thing. So yeah,
There's
GDC,
usually like
I don't
one
think
or-
we'll see much for us consumers off the bat, but
Right,
it's,
okay.
any GDC is a good thing for.
I I don't know if this is rumor or not, but Bella Ramsey is 100% confirmed not getting recast in The Last of Us Season 2. They're probably going to do a time jump then.
I've heard totally the opposite.
Yeah, it's from Forbes. I just seen it.
Yeah, no, yeah, they're doing a time jump, but I think I read that they're doing a time jump, but she's
Yeah.
I read that yesterday, but
Yeah.
I just saw an article now that says she's not. That'll be sad. I liked her.
She was a revelation,
Yes.
actually, because when initially I thought, I don't know, she doesn't look like her and what have you, and she turned out
That
to be
was-
such a great actress.
That I said the same thing, and then I fell in love with her. I fell in love with her.
You're supposed to not like her in the beginning.
Yeah.
Like, they kind of do that on purpose. She's
Yeah.
prickly and yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
By the way, for all of you who has watched The Last of Us and everything, I know that Troy Baker has been doing a lot of like a podcast after each episode, talking about doing in-depth behind the scenes talks. So
Yeah.
Wasn't he in
I
the
like
fi-
him.
the
I can
final
recommend
one?
it based on that. I haven't seen that.
Wasn't he in the final one though?
He is in one of the episodes.
Is it- In the final or the one before, he's
something like
plays
that.
quite a bit in the episode, doesn't he? I was surprised actually.
Ashley Johnson as well, who played Ellie. in the
Oh
games.
really?
He's also in one of those episodes.
Oh wow.
But yeah, can you guys guess which game is heading the physical charts in the UK?
Harry
Hogwarts?
Potter.
Yep. Hogwarts for the fifth for 5 weeks in a row. It's still
Wow.
and apparently
Number Wanicus.
it's also the first weekly digital data too, as well. And after just 5 weeks, Hogwarts Legacy has now surpassed the lifetime sales of Elden Ring in the UK, both digital and physical.
Wow.
So in
a
5
huge-
weeks, sold more than
It's a franchise,
It's
isn't
a
it?
huge franchise.
Yeah.
It's very accessible.
Yeah.
Young people. And
It's a good game.
It's beefy enough for older
Yeah.
people to get into it. Like
Yeah.
It's
there's a little
fun.
something there for everyone. I
Yeah.
think
Yeah,
that
it's
likes
just
Harry
fun.
Potter.
I'm playing through it currently. I love it. Really good.
Yep.
It's not, as
yeah.
good as, not as good as Forspoken, guys. Sorry.
Yeah, it is. Yeah,
I don't know, but
I haven't played
but I
either.
enjoy it.
I plan
Rock,
I plan
Rock,
on it.
they got a story. They found some Forspoken games in a dumpster.
Yeah, right next to ET. No, those were the steel
Alright.
books, weren't they?
That was the landfill.
Yeah,
They were ET
I'm
ones.
like,
Yeah.
I'm like, damn.
I know the steel books and everything as well. Huge amounts of money in it's such a shame.
Yeah.
It's a real shame.
And then let's see I think that's it in terms of news. Yeah, this was another Boosteroid Microsoft deal news.
Rock. The article was updated at the bottom saying, no, she's going to be in it.
Oh,
I just went through it. So.
talk about clickbait, mate. Though
I know, right?
You know what I'm saying?
Shame on you, Forbes.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like, allegedly. Oh wait, never mind.
That's so clickbaity.
Yeah. So I feel like we've been we've been going for almost 2 hours now. Maybe we should start wrapping it up. So unless just throwing it out there, anyone has anything else they want to bring up before we wrap things up? I think
Nope.
that's enough. Then let's start with you, John Gar. What's
It's on sale.
what's anything that people should look forward to from coming from you that you want to give people some attention to?
Well, I don't have my own YouTube channel, so nothing on that front. But well, as I said at the start of the show, I'm the creator of the Cloud Gaming Catalog, and we've started doing reviews, so written reviews. We're trying to get keys for the most of the latest games, so you can expect more of those. And apart from that, just thanks for having me. I enjoyed it, so thanks a lot.
I love your site. Are you working with the guys at Cloud Dosage as well, or is that?
No, it's just me.
Yeah, it's just amazing.
Nice.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah,
Yeah, thanks.
awesome.
Yeah, I hope
gonna
it's a good resource.
cloudgaminghello.com.
I'm going to put the link on the screen right now.
Way before you, man.
Oh, you
It's already up
tart.
there.
You freaking tart. Oh no, I did a better version than you though.
Oh, damn it.
Yes.
Did you? I can't see yours.
No, I haven't finished it really. I was just trying to buy some time. Hang on. There you go. There's my version. Look at that.
Okay, that's better.
That's nice.
Yeah, it's much nicer.
That's better.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
If
quick
there's
one on
ever
the
anything, if there is ever anything, any mistakes or any feedback anyone has, feel free to share them with me. No problem.
No, it's an amazing site. I'm just gonna pop it up on the screen actually.
Yeah, do go
because it deserves it. See, well, there we go.
Oh, damn it!
Oh, stop it, man.
Too many chips. There we go.
There we go. It's absolutely superb. So it'll tell you what games,
Platforms.
on what platforms the various games are. So if you wanted to know, for example, where Disney Dreamlight was, then click on this one, and there you go. And it's going to tell you where it is and where you can play it. And also, if you follow this gentleman on Twitter, every time there's a new game, Jonker's pushing it out on Twitter, letting you know that there's a new game come to the cloud, and invariably it's on this site as well. So 100% make sure you bookmark the site and follow him on Twitter as well, because the man deserves it for this amount of effort. It's fantastic.
And also, we are. I'm helping Jonker out with adding some reviews as well there.
Oh, great!
So a couple of other
Nice.
tweets.
Yeah, and same for Papa
There's a
Bear.
review
Nepotism.
segment. Yeah, there's a review segment on there, so check that out too. Why not?
Yeah, well, it was good until Bjorn just
Yeah,
announced
yeah,
that. I don't
I
know.
wrecked it.
I wouldn't avoid it now. Yeah. Well done, guys. Well done.
Yeah. SPG, what's going on over at your place in the next?
Oh
couple
man,
days?
Friday I will be streaming some Among Us. You can play with your tablet, your phone, your PC, whatever, man, whatever you got. It'll play on a baked potato. Jump in and try to airlock myself or Ray, or pretend you're not killing us. It is a heck of a lot of fun. And then this Sunday, we have Retro Rewind coming up. One of our guests is going to be Nerds World, and we're going to dive into our childhood cartoons and toys, and it should be a lot of fun.
What time is Among Us?
Say that again?
What time will Among Us be?
Oh, Among Us will be 1 p.m. CT here in the States. So
there we go. Let's bring on Ray. What's planned over at your place?
Saturday night I do Wreckfest on xCloud with my friends, and then Sunday, Monday I do GeForce Now. Haven't picked the games yet for GeForce Now, but just go to Ray3473 Twitter page. And thank you for the invite. This has been an awesome show, awesome panel, and the chat.
Love having you on, man.
Thank you.
Oh man, it's cool. I love having you on. Rokk, what's up?
So
What's happening over your place?
yeah. So tomorrow is, of course, Rock Around the Clock, and Friday means that it is members exclusive day. So members get their own prize giveaway. What I've actually done is segment the week. So rather than it being the same thing every day, Mondays are now kind of chill and chat, just me and the folks having a chit chat. Tuesday, of course, is the Amazing Rock Show with my amazing co-band members, William and Ray, and David when he's better, bless him. Wednesdays is now a gameplay day, as long as OBS doesn't die. I just noticed I've got like a Mohican, just like a baby Mohican growing up there. And then Thursdays is Cloud Gaming Day, and then that brings us full scale back to Friday. So I will be streaming some Disney Dreamlight as well, under contractual obligation. So possibly Saturday. Although Saturday, I'm walking for charity. I'm doing a charity walk for local hospice. So so maybe I'll have blisters and do all that as well. So that's me.
No better time to just sit back with some Disney then.
Rock, that's wonderful, man. That's very important, man, to support things like that.
Thank you.
It really is.
Appreciate it, my friend. Well, they've already raised, getting on for 100,000, just for one weekend. So yeah, it's amazing. I haven't, but they have.
Martinez, my friend, what's happening
Yeah.
over at you and his guys' place?
So the next big thing is on Saturday, our new day for My Next Gen Gaming on this very channel. So in the States it's afternoonish, and then in the UK it's late eveningish. So it's gonna be streaming some outright games once again. We're gonna be giving away outright game, thanks to them and Rokk for that. And besides that, we're making a push for 300 subs on Hezekiah's YouTube, which is
Awesome.
Hezekiah's Toys and Games. He's at 293. He's 7 away. And then once we hit that, we're giving away a copy of Splatoon 2. So
Oh, man.
7 more. That's our next
Wow.
giveaway.
Nice.
So
And
out of the 14 people watching this right now, we can easily get
Yeah.
that. Sure.
So that's Hezekiah Toys and Games on Twitch.
Hezekiah's Toys and Games.
Hezekiah.
Spell his
And on
name
YouTube.
out for the folks that.
It's HEZEKIAH.
There you go, Toys and Games, and if they follow him on Twitch, they're gonna make a little fella's dreams come true. He's only 7 away. Come on, guys, we can do this.
Definitely.
I can't
Do it
because I
by then,
already
that's
am a
fine.
subscriber, but you know.
Yeah,
what
same
I'm
here. Yeah.
So, yeah.
Ninja. Yeah, awesome. And Ninja X had to. I think he had a plan call with a realtor, so I'm guessing that's why he's not. He had to drop out.
saying. Okay.
Check out his stuff. Check out the vet stuff. Check out Ant stuff, and
yeah.
everyone else who's been on the show.
Yeah.
If
Great
and
show.
it's been a lot of fun, guys. I don't have much plan other than maybe I have some streams I need to do. I haven't decided when to do them, and I'm working on a review of Shadow PC. But
And
otherwise,
you have on, where are we? I've got it up here somewhere. The article that you've written, I think, was it Paul? Was it the racing game?
yeah,
Or-
Paw Patrol racing game.
Yeah.
And I have a review up on the cloud gaming catalog, and also working on some editing on a review of my game of the year last year that I've talked about before, Mountain Blade 2 Bannerlord.
Awesome. Good stuff. Jonka, thank you so much for joining us today, my friend. This is the first
thanks for
time
having
me.
you've been on any kind of madcap foolishling like this. So really appreciate your time. And what a fantastic panel, Bjorn. You've
it's
excelled
been a-
yourself. This has been a true VIP panel this week.
Yeah, it's been a lot of fun doing this show with you, all you guys.
Yeah.
So thank you so much for joining us. And what do you think? Should we just roll the outro?
Yeah, let's just
Yeah,
roll.
let's
shall
just
we?
roll the
Let's
outro. Roll
roll
it.
with the roll.